Well, look what we have here. It's crazy to think that we would end our week tonight, but here we are, chat. We have SGL Thursday coming back with an absolute bang with 3 incredible SGL Premier matchups for you all this week. 2 of them derbies, and one of them one to really look forward to between KC Cauldron and El Matador. What is up, everyone? This is the only Mazar. I'm the only one here for now, so we'll see how this goes. This is going to be a long stream. We're going to have a lot of action coming up. We will be kicking off with Las Cinco Doce versus EM Dallas Bird. That one kicks off in about 3 minutes, and then after that we'll have a bit of a break between the first match and the second one, which is KC Cauldron versus El Matador, kicking off in 2 hours time. Finally, we will have the Cascadia Derby matchup, the second one of this week, in the premiere this time though, between Emerald City RC and Timbers Army. Skyline, good to see you over here, brother, and thank you for the 2 bits. Every little bit counts. Really appreciate it. Let me get this prediction set up real quick, so that for those of you who are coming in, you guys can get this going. You know what? I totally get it, Skyline. Appreciate you doing this little bit. Throwing little bits here and there, you know what I'm saying? Much love to you for that. Speaking of bits, it's been good to see the awesome support from yesterday. Late last night, we had a Difo of EC Eternal stream for SGL for the first time. And in all honesty, late night streams, I don't typically expect too many people to come in, but you know, a lot of people came in, showed their support, so much love to all of them. And we had a Prime sub come in from iHobo Joe, so much love to him for that. And also 100 bits donated by Deep Sea towards the end, so appreciate him for that as well. Trigga, good to see you, bro. Already bringing out your support for your fellow Austin FC fans who will be playing for Las Cinco Doce very soon. Yes, that matchup is kicking off in just about 1 minute, chat. Not that far away. And this is going to be a good one right here, too. We've seen Las Cinco Doce be on the rise. They've been getting better and better throughout the season. But don't dismiss this EM Dallas Bird team, chat. They came back against Sounders RC, and, you know, that was not just any kind of comeback. It was a reverse sweep. I know Sounders RC dealt with a reverse sweep already against Frontera, and they've been also getting better and better. But the reason I brought that up is this EM Dallas Bird has fight. They will go for it. They are not afraid to take on teams, no matter how good or bad they are. And in this case, this is an extra special matchup, of course, because, you know, Las Cinco Doce, Austin FC fans, the big rivalry between the 2 sides. So don't be surprised if there are a few more fireworks on the field of play. Trigga says, I bet everything on Los Verdes on Tuesday. Need Cinco Doce to help me get some of that back. Hey, you know what? This is the best chance for Las Cinco Doce to get a big win. A statement win. I mean, we already saw that against El Matador, but this El Matador team this season has not been as strong. They're weaker on paper than they were last season. The EM Dallas Bird team, though, is very interesting. They've got a bunch of better players come in. They took most of, you know, the good players from El Matador last season, so don't be surprised if this matchup is closer than it seems. And if you see what I mean, we've had Caesar, who is the star of this team, who leads the way and does pretty much everything, lead all the stats. And I mean, I think that says it all, doesn't it? I mean, this guy is the #1 player for his team. The second player for the team, Anum, has been a revelation. He, on paper, is one of the weaker players in the squad, but he has stepped up and delivered big time. Unfortunately, he's not available tonight. Anum mentioned it in commentary yesterday. he is not available to play tonight, so his teammates need to step up and play a big part. With that said, don't dismiss Wicca. He was a key factor in EM Dallas Burn's reverse sweep against Sounders RC in week 2. You also have Ponzi, who's shown flashes of brilliance, but mostly struggled, especially on the attack. Defensively as well too, but once he gets his footing into the Premier, he should be fine. And then you have Huey, who is the X factor in this team. This guy has probably the best mechs in the whole lineup after Caesar, and be on the lookout for him. He will be a goal threat. He doesn't get too many chances, but when he plays, he scores goals. So don't be surprised if he becomes a big factor for this team, especially when they start getting on the ball and start to take control. And then last but not least, Pico David. Do not be surprised if he makes an appearance, by the way. He has made at least one appearance in almost every week. I don't know if he missed 1 week. Maybe against Emerald City RC? I don't know if he played against them or not, but he did play against El Matador. He also played against Sounders RC, if I'm not mistaken. Trigger calling for Playboy Farty to play. I mean, don't be surprised if he does appear. He does show up whenever Emerald EM Dallas Burn get involved. Now, since we talked so much about EM Dallas Burn, it's only appropriate that we talk about Los Verdes. Interestingly, they have a squad of at least 4 players, if not a couple more, depending on if they can get themselves verified or not. But for now, they've just been sticking with this trio and this trio only. It's been Palace, Runsound, and Devon. That's the team that has played every single game so far, and don't be surprised if they stick around and continue. At the start, they showed a lot of good glimpses, especially on the attack. Defensively, though, a little bit open. But as the season has progressed, week after week, they've improved their defensive rotations. They've become more reliable defensively, and they have started to take control of games more. This team on the attack will control the ball, and they will make sure that you will never get out of your goal, let alone your half. Their only problem has been they've not been able to convert their chances for the most part. I mean, 1 in 20 shots for Devon, I think, says it all. A big statistical anomaly, and you expect more from Devon as well, but I think he's going to pull through. As I said, anomaly, it's a statistical anomaly. It's more of an outlier. I think he'll regress to the mean in a positive manner. He's going to get more goals and he's going to catch up. Run Sao has been an incredible addition to this lineup. The dude has been so good defensively, so good with his passing, incredible with his 50s. He has taken this Les Cinco Doce team to the next level. And if you were wondering who the rest of the squad is, it's basically Los Verdes minus Trigger, Blue Skies, trying to remember if there was another one. I think, yeah, minus Trigger and Blue Skies and Arglis, of course. So it's half Los Verdes from last season, but with Runsau, it takes up to the next level. Here we go. Pico David appearing in the chat. Good to see ya. He's saying, I'm on P2 Innocent Sin right now. I'm out. And he's claiming that he's quit. I don't know, bro. We'll see. You claimed you quit before, but you've come back. But hold your head up, bro. Listen, I know it's been rough for you in the Premier. You will be back. You've been getting better and better. You had a decent showing against ECRC, despite the gap in quality between you and that team. You will be fine if you get to play more. Right. We are ready to go. Both teams are now in. We are going to kick off very soon. And they both are now joining in. Chat, get ready. This is going to be awesome. We cannot wait to see where this goes. And here we go. Game 1 kicks off between EM Dallas Burn and Les Cinco Doce. And right off the mark, what a save, by the way. EM Dallas Burn already having to face an instant attack from Les Cinco Doce. but that boom allows Huey to take control. Devin, not really getting the best touch, but Runsouth comes in to take over. Palace with a shot! And that early attack was a sign of things to come. EMDB way too slow off the mark at the back. Great backboard pass by Runsouth. Palace jumping up, getting to the ball first. 1-0 to Las Cinco Doce, and they couldn't have asked for a better start than this, chat. Once again, the ball ends up towards the orange gold, but Caesar finally gets it out. Wicca has the boost to follow up. Soft touch allows Runsouth to take control. He brings it out to the other flank, gets challenged. Ball falls right on to Caesar. Caesar lets it go. Wicca going up for a double tap attempt. He bails out. Huey stranded in the middle, not able to get to the ball quickly enough, and Caesar has to get back. And now he's going to go for a solo play, going for a dunk. He cannot get the ball in the back of the net. Great defensive stand there from Las Cinco Doce. And now they need to keep it going. They're boost starved once again, just like last week against Emerald City RC. They need to do better at getting the little boost pass to keep their rotations going quickly. It's been one of the challenges they've had to deal with so far. But EMDB give them a break. They kind of drop back, and now Las Cinco Doce is looking to take control. Palace going for Huey. Runsouth follows up. Ball's loose in the midfield towards Wicca, taking a shot off target. Huey trying to follow up, and Devin gets it out of the way, but barely. Runsouth now needs to take charge of the Caesar cross, which really falls to no one. Huey tries his best to get something, salvage something off of that, but to no avail. And now EMDB need to face a Las Cinco Doce attack. With that said, no one's there to follow it up. That's Caesar! Somehow gets the equalizer. Chat, even Devin is shocked. What the hell? Devin, who's had his attacking struggles, somehow scores an own goal from out of nowhere. Like, even if you try that, you know, intentionally, you cannot always get that in. So for him to do that is insane. But EMDB get gifted an equalizer at the perfect time. Let's see if this pins Las Cinco Doce back. And they are pinned back. Devin having to deal with that, but the ball gets pitched to the other end. Huey gets it out of the way with a decent save. And the whole EMDB team is now back. Runs out towards the middle. Huey getting another big save off of the far post, and the ball is now going towards Devin, who is anchoring this Las Cinco Doce side. Plays it loose to Caesar, who passes it to the middle. No one is there to follow up. Wicca comes back, tries to get a touchdown, but Huey's not going to push. He's going to stay back. And now Caesar takes charge. Doesn't really get a good contact. Bounces it to the flanks. Doesn't really get good enough control, but Runsouth finally takes over. Huey once again plays it loose to Devin. Gets demoed for his trouble. The ball's going to the orange side now. We'll see what happens from here. Palace and Runsouth both in. Net is open. And Wicca gets the lead for EMDB. 2-1 with less than 2 minutes to go. And that is very unfortunate for Las Cinco Doce. Runsouth is the third man going up to keep the ball in the midfield. Palace high up close to the ceiling. And Wicca flicked it over Runsouth, put it into the back of the open net. Caesar slow playing. Good job by Huey coming up to try and see if he can get a 50. Loose ball. Challenged by Wicca towards Caesar, who doesn't get to the ball. And now Palace plays it into the middle. Devin coming in late. Another backboard pass. Runsouth coming up, but couldn't make it. And Palace needs to take over right here. Time's running out. Still a lot of time, though. But this is where Las Cinco Doce tend to struggle. When they are behind it and they're chasing for a goal, they tend to struggle to create good enough chances and get their shots on target. Another good attempt right there, but Palace just didn't have the boost to follow it up. And now they need to deal with an attack from EMDB. Devin does enough to get it out of the way. He's been good defensively, minus that own goal. And now Devin needs to play a part on this attack. Staying up, bumping Huey. Palace couldn't get it past to him, though. And the ball now goes into the orange half. Palace has to pop it up. Devin and Rutsau getting involved. The net is open. Palace waits patiently, gets away with it. Caesar challenges him, and Rutsau can only bring it out to Wicca. Huey up for a shot, but he fluffs his shots right there. Ball goes to the side wall. Devin had the time to take control, but he booms it. Runs out. Devin up at the crossbar. Palace doesn't have the boost to follow it up. And here we go again, chat. Lacinco Dose, when they get the chances, cannot convert them as we enter the final 10 seconds. As the clock ticks down to 0, one final chance. Palace with 0 boost. Ruts out with 100. Devin cannot make it. He also had 0 boost. And EM Dallas Burn takes game 1. Let's see who's getting involved in chat. Luis, good to see you, bro. Argos, good to see you here as well. A lot of trash talking from Trigga. And Argos on one Pico David. Not sure if he's the guy you necessarily need to pick on. But you guys do you. We shall see if Playboy Party makes an appearance, depending on what happens. All right, chat. Sorry. If I'm quiet, it's because I am dealing with different things and setting everything up. Just making sure everything is good to go for game 2. Just gotta clear up the sub situation. I think everyone's ready to go now. Yes, we are. So we are gonna hop into game 2 very soon. And here we go. Both teams are entering in right now. No time to waste. Everyone is ready to go. We'll see who the subs are for both sides. Hophead comes in for Palace, and Pico David makes an appearance, subbing in for Caesar. Here we go. Game 2. This should be a great one, chat. And speaking of Palace, he comes into the chat and says, the whole lobby was throwing that game, Lamau. You know what? At least you're getting it out of the way in game 1. We'll see how it goes for the rest of this matchup. Hophead versus Pico David, though. This is one to look forward to. We'll see who can step up and make themselves count. So far, it is the better skilled players getting more involved. Hophead, though, brings it out to Runsau. Shot towards the net, but it bounces off of the post. Hophead cannot follow it up either. If there was a chance for him to get the goal, that was it. And EM Dallas Burn live for now. Pico David bringing it up. Devin challenging him. Devin gonna keep this up. Flicks it over his dad, Hophead, but Lacinco Dose get away with it. And yes, I said that. Hophead is Devin's father, a father-son connection in this team. A bunch of you know very well about Steel Army's 3 brothers. Here, though, we have a father and son playing together for the same team. They've done that in the past for Los Verdes, and now they do it for Lacinco Dose. Chat, this is really good to see, and I'm loving all this at the moment. Shot towards the net. Huey gets right into the near post. That ground shot is easily dealt with by him, and now he tries to kickstart a counter. Wicca could not get to the ball on time. Pico David is anchoring himself on the goal. Jumps, gets beaten, open net. No one really is there to follow it up. Hophead himself was staying back too. Finally follows it up, brings it out to the left. Runs out, taking a shot to the far post. And he gets the lead for Lacinco Dose. No bounce off the crossbar this time. This is cleanly into the back of the net. 1-0 to Lacinco Dose. As the kickoff goes in EM Dallas Bird's favor, We'll see if they can create a good opportunity right there. Huey now set up into the middle, and just like that, Wicca gets the equalizer for EM Dallas Burn. Goodness. Both Devin and Runsau committing to that Huey ball. Huey just skipping it past both of them, had one more to beat in Hophead, gets it past him as well, and that was one of the easiest goals Wicca will probably be scoring all season. 1-1, both teams have made their chances count so far, outside of that early little bit where Runsau hit the post, but you know what? They have been better off this time around. Now we'll see what Huey can do right here. Runsau challenging him, bounces off the wall. Runsau lets it go for Devin. Devin baiting out a 50 from Wicca. Huey now shot towards the net. Hoppin lets it go, seeing that the ball is going towards the crossbar. Oh my goodness, the ball has skipped over all the orange players. And Devin finally gets his goal. His second, yes, that's right, his second goal of SGL Season 10. And La Cinco Doce lead 2-1 with 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go. Alice, if you're having trouble with 7TV, check your 7TV settings just to be sure. See if your add-on's enabled as well. That's all I could do for now. Meanwhile, Palace at the same time, bang bang like Jessie J and Ariana Grande. Well, you know what? I guess that's an appropriate comment. La Cinco Doce could have had a third. Everyone trying to go for goal right there. EM Dallas Burn, they'll see it off, and they cleared out to Runsau. Runsau following it up with Devin. Another double commit. Not the first time we've seen that from both players. Not sure what's going on with their comms, but they've been double committing quite a bit in this game too. Nico David has barely been involved though. Not really had too many touches of note so far. And once again, the ball goes over him with the demo on the opposite side. Devin has a chance to put this into the net. He might have been better off passing it to Runsau, but Runsau adjusts and now he's going for a solo effort off of the backboard. Taps it into the far post, and La Cinco Doce get their 2-goal advantage. 3-1 to them with 72 seconds remaining. Palace saying, I feel like this series is a content series. So far it has been. We've seen content in both games. Various kinds of content too, so there's been a decent bit of variety. Speaking of content, Runsau going for the hat trick! And Runsau seals the deal. Another shot from left to right, by the way. Every single one of his goals has gone from left to right. And he gets the hat trick in similar fashion. This time the post not bounce the ball out of the net. 4-1 to La Cinco Doce. And surely they have game 2 sealed right here. We'll see if Devin can get a second goal. Wicca and Huey, they've tried all they could, but they have been overwhelmed now. Huey trying to bump Devin, but Devin dodges it. Devin takes control. 50 makes him lose control, though. We'll see if Runsau can do anything right here. Huey, oh, unfortunate miss. Pico David in no man's land with little to no boost. He needs to get to the ball right here. Does so. 50 kind of helps. Devin, oh, man. You wish that he can get those shots on target if you're a fellow Austin FC fan. You know, and as a neutral, I'm just hoping he can step up and get better. But man, those kind of shots, it's been the story of the season so far. So clock ticks down to 0. I think La Cinco Doce have certainly sealed the deal in this game 2. They're back in it. The match is tied at 1 apiece, and we are going to go into game 3 with this effectively being a best of 3. Arglis, to be fair to Pico, he's facing off against, you know, Runsau and Devin, and they're both very high-level players. And It's not easy to play against this kind of team. You should know. You've played against them too. All right. We are going to be going to game 3 very soon. Don't be surprised if there are more subs on the way. And both teams are going in right at this instant. No time to waste. We're going to jump right into this game 3. Just waiting for both teams to fill up. And there we go. And we are getting started with this game 3. Lawler counting us down. Here we go. The best of 3 begins now. Who will take advantage right here? Will it be the Cinco Doce against their arch rivals in Texas? And so far, they've started this out in the best way possible. Devin pinching it into the middle, open net. No one really there to deal with that. And Palace, all he has to do is just touch the ball across the goal line. 1-0 to La Cinco Doce, and you couldn't have asked for a better start yet again. So in every single game, La Cinco Doce has taken the lead. Every single game we could have... Oh my goodness, I thought we were going to have an equalizer from Ian Dalsberg, but they couldn't make it count right there. What a defensive stand by La Cinco Doce. Incredible save on the goal line as well. I thought for sure Huey was going to get that, but he couldn't turn it in. And now Huey gets a second shot. It's off the backboard. Low shot couldn't go in. Oh my goodness, he's not going to be happy right now. And a big save right there from Runsau. And Devin finally gets it out. La Cinco Doce can breathe a sigh of relief. He's backed off for long. Caesar skips it over Palace. And there is your equalizer. Caesar overcomes Palace, who committed too high and couldn't challenge. And it's 1-1, and we've yet to play a full minute. Ooh, Caesar's coming up. He's going to take over. Bails out, tries to go for a bump. Runs out. Devin once again right next to each other. I don't know if this is intended at this point, but I'm surprised they've continued it on this way. Devin almost got his 3rd of the season. Just couldn't get it on target. The crossbar, his enemy right there. And Ian Dalsberg get away with it. We'll see if they can keep this going. Huey with a nice touch. Huey trying to go for a bounce air dribble. Couldn't really get much control. Caesar misses. And Palace gets his. And La Cinco Doce's second. A long shot from his goal mouth area. Caesar had so much boost, but just couldn't get to the ball. Devin was tempted. He could have stolen that. Could have gone to goal. But he lets it go for Palace. 2-1 to La Cinco Doce. Huey, nice launch, but he's just a bit underneath the ball. Couldn't really get up to it. Wicca had to get involved. Caesar misses. Devin, he's done everything right so far. He just couldn't get the ball to the back of the net. But that's where his teammates come into play. Runsau coming up big in game 2. Game 1, well, they were missing a lot of their chances. But so far, La Cinco Doce have been converting. We'll see if they can keep this up. Palace off the backboard. Huey clears it away to Caesar, who tries to get a shot on target, and he is unlucky. What a valiant effort that was from Caesar, getting it over the last man, but the shot just didn't want to go into the net. And now we'll see if they can keep this up. Huey try to pass it to Wicca, to no avail. Devin with 0 boost, chases the ball, challenges Huey, runs out towards the left to Palace, who wins the 50. That ball's gonna bounce off the backboard. Devin is going for that. Runs out as the last man, doesn't have much boost, and he chooses to stay back and collect some boost from the small pads. That's exactly what you should be doing when you're 3rd man, and he plays that very well. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Ian Dalsberg, they've looked a bit disheveled here. They've had some good passes, some good moments, but for the most part, they've just not been getting enough contact on the ball when it matters. Once again, Wicca trying to let it go and go for a bump, but he gets 0 bumps. And no one really follows it up from his team. Caesar passes into the middle. Both Wicca and Huey jump up. Caesar has 0 boost. That ball bounces in. An incredibly fortunate ricochet off of the post and crossbar. After an incredibly fortunate bounce off of the ceiling, that ball wanted to go into the back of the net. It does. Lysinko Dose lead 3-1, and they're looking high and mighty right now. Oh my goodness, Caesar had to do all he can to get that save, but runs out once again. And now you're starting to see what Lysinko Dose are all about. They'll go for those quick fire shots, and they'll have a second man come in for a quick fire shot instantly. You're not going to get the time to settle in. Runsal punishes the EM Dalsburn, and now Lysinko Dose lead 4-1. And for EM Dalsburn, they're losing control very quickly. Oh no, that was it. That was the opportunity. Open net right there. Wicca misses. Huey tries to follow up. Even after getting the dunk, he couldn't get it on target. There's been some misfortune, as Skyline said, yes, but they've also not been able to convert their chances and get the meaningful touches. Caesar now, pass to the middle, but Runsau intercepts, brings it to the other end. Palace doesn't have much boost. He's just going to want to get a touch of the ball. Lets it go to get it bumped. Doesn't get either. Caesar now brings it to the other end. Shot on net. No one's at the back. Caesar gets the second for EM Dalsburn. And with about a minute to go, there's still time for EM Dalsburn to come back into this. Bismo, good to see you in chat. Yes, this has been a good game so far. Absolutely. And Skyline, once again, thank you for your tiny bit donation right there. Sheared 2 bits a half an hour ago. 3 bits now, so that makes his total donation today for 6 bits. Oh my goodness, I thought Caesar was gonna get another goal right there, but the ball bounces past every Lysinko Dose player, and Huey gets the shot in. 4-3 with 45 seconds to go. Chat, here we go. This is where Lysinko Dose need to hold their composure. So far, that is a good kickoff. Wicca, though, gets it. Overruns South. Devin gets control. Nice first touch, but gets demoed for his trouble. Wicca bringing out some aggression that's badly needed against his Lysinko Dose side. Caesar plays it loose. Needs to collect boost to get active and engaged. Wicca plays it to the opposite side. This is a chance for Huey to get involved. Touch it to the middle. Big demo from Wicca, too, but 2 players are back once again. Devin and Runsau right next to each other. So far, they've been able to make it work. Palace now, trying to slow play, trying to bump. Devin, trying to waste time, centers it to EM Dalsburn. The ball's now popped up high into the middle. Runsau does just enough to get it away, but it's not over yet. Huey, oh my goodness, what a fortunate touch, but he doesn't have the boost to follow it up. All of the EM Dalsburn players are at the blue half, and that seals a critical game 3 for Lysinko Dose. They now take the lead, and they're up 2-1. That was incredibly close. EM Dalsburn were almost there, but they just conceded way too many goals. And what I mean by that is they gave up way too many chances. And against this Lysinko Dose side, if you do that, you are going to concede. They got punished for it dearly. They could not, however, punish Lysinko Dose. When they had their moments, they could not make them count. We'll see if they could do it here in this game 4. How's everyone doing tonight? Good to see everyone getting involved in chat. Let me remind you guys, after this match, we will be taking a bit of a break because the next matchup kicks off at 10:30, KC Cauldron versus El Matador, and then after that, we will have our third matchup, Emerald City RC versus Timbers Army. And game 4 is about to kick off. Lysinko Dose on match point. This is their chance to get another victory against an FC Dallas team. They did it against El Matador. Can they now do it against EM Dallas Spurs? And in order to do it, they have to hold on tight. And a good save right there after an early chance by the EMDB side. We'll see if EM Dallas Spurs can respond and take us to Game 5. It happened against El Matador. Can it happen again with EM Dallas Spurs involved now? And Wicca now standing strong. Passing it out to Huey. Huey trying to bring it out. Cannot get close enough to the ball. Rudsau beats Wicca. And now Caesar takes control on the right wall. Brings it out. Just doesn't take enough control. Huey off target. Wicca bounces up. He's going to go for a double. Caesar dives in and gets the lead for EM Dallas Spurs. And I believe this is the first lead they've taken in the start of a game. This matchup. EM Dallas Spurs now 1-0 up. This is the start they needed in order to keep up the pressure and make sure the La Cinco Doce have to stretch themselves thin to get the equalizer. But if you sit back against this La Cinco Doce side, they will outpace you. Rudsau being a big part of that, but Devin has also stepped up. We'll see what Palace can do as well. We know he is capable of some big moments of magic for his team. Devin towards the middle to nobody. Caesar now takes control. Brings it out. Smooth dribble. Trying to send it to the opposite flank. He's going to pitch it off the wall. But that was well read by Devin. Rudsau shot towards the net. Huey is back. Ready for that. Still has enough boost to follow up. But Devin instantly challenges him. And this is what La Cinco Doce is all about. They'll make sure you don't get out of your half. And you have to be very diligent of it. You cannot commit everyone up because of that. But now, EM Dallas Spurs try to create a chance. Wicca going for that bump play. Could not make it count. Caesar keeps up the pressure. Devin with 0. Beats 1. He cannot beat Huey though. Ball's loose. Palace now. Solo play. Try to go for a double. Caesar gets up. Clears it out. And now Huey takes control. Not for long though. Ball goes straight to the opposite end. Caesar finally gets it out. Adifo, good to see you, bro. Good to have you in chat. Once again, another backboard play, and I think EM Dallas Spurs have sussed him out. They know what to do when dealing with those situations, so we'll see if La Cinco Doce mix it up. Caesar, passing it towards Wicca. Rudsau read that pass, challenged Wicca right there, and now he has the time to follow up. Beats Huey with that, I guess, weird touch. Devin, though, gets a shot off of a tight angle. And he will absolutely take that. He needed a proper shot on target. Gets it into the back of the net for his 3rd goal of the season. Is this the start of Devin's run of goals? Is this finally the moment when Devin settles in and starts scoring more and more for this La Cinco Doce side? 1-1 right now between the Austin FC and FC Dallas teams. This rivalry matchup is heating up right now in this critical game 4. Caesar uses all of his boosts to try and bring it forward. Rudsau has everything that he needs to take control. Off the ceiling. Bit unfortunate that the ball didn't roll up all the way, but he still gets a second touch. Caesar now tries to flick it over. Oh, Devin plays it towards Caesar! Off the backboard! Palace sees it off, and now Wicca follows up. Wicca, though, has no one there to take advantage of his backboard pass. Huey gets it loose into the midfield. Caesar is there a boost. Shot on net to the far post. Rudsau able to deal with that. Devin now needs to take care of business right here. Does just enough. And Rudsau and Palace can now go forward. Speaking of Palace, shot on net to the post. Oh my goodness. That ball just kept bouncing between the two players right there. Wicca finally gets it out. Very lucky for EM Dallas Spurs. I thought that was going to go in somehow, but the ball stayed out throughout. And Caesar does an incredible job of bringing the ball into the blue half. He gets bumped, gets involved, interferes with Palace. Palace, though, keeps his composure, brings it out to the orange half, passes it to the middle. Rudsau, though, cannot get a shot on target. Incredible effort right there by Palace. And now Caesar tries to play it to Huey, who overcommits and gets himself out of position. Huey, though, keeping his composure, takes control. This is where he's at his best. When he slows it down and starts dribbling it to the opposite end. Just cannot get enough control right there. Wicca, shot towards the net. Off target just by a little bit. Now Huey, he cannot get back on time. And with 31 seconds to go, Lysinko Dose take the lead, courtesy of Runsau. Chat, here we go. Lysinko Dose up 2-1. They have to hold on now because the CM down third side will go for the instant equalizer. They tried right there, shot off target though by Wicca, but don't be surprised if they can come back. Caesar, with no boost, has enough in his max. Oh, into the middle. Wicca cut to the near post and couldn't get to the ball. And now they only have 10 seconds for one final chance. Great touch right there by Runsau to waste all that time. Pass towards Wicca, balls up, but Caesar has no boost. He has to keep it up. Wicca in an awkward position as well. And Lysinko Dose get 2 wins in a row. Sorry, not 2 wins in a row overall, but 2 wins over FC Dallas teams in a row. A huge win for them. And this should set them up well for the Cup tournament kicking off next week. Massive, massive win for Lysinko Dose. Of course, it had to be over an FC Dallas team. And now they're starting to show what they're all about. Their attack, especially when Devin starts to get going, is potentially unstoppable. And we're not talking about bad players on the EM Dallas Bird team. All of Wicca, Huey, and Caesar are good defenders, but they could not handle the heat that Lysinko Dose threw at them. And you see it right there. A ton of touches from Caesar, by the way. 73 touches is absolutely insane. He was involved everywhere. Unfortunately, EM Dallas Bird just looked off sorts. Kind of lacking in cohesion right there. Didn't get the best chances, and when they did, they couldn't really finish them off. But good effort nonetheless. And EM Dallas Bird still get a point at the very least. All right, we are now waiting to see if we have any interviews lined up. But chat, let me know your thoughts on this matchup. I thought we were going to go to 5 games, but then Lysinko Dose came back strong. Really good attacking rotations, as you can see. Devin, Runsau, and Palace are absolutely in sync with each other. And they're looking like one of the most cohesive trios in SGL this season. Meanwhile, EM Dallas Bird. Man, I thought they had a bit more to their game compared to El Matador. But they couldn't take it to 5 games. At least El Matador took it to 5 games. They only get 1 point off of this, unfortunately. And now they are probably around the bottom 3 with that win for Lysinko Dose. Well, Luis, I know you're saying true, El Matador better, we drafted better. Let's just take a look at the league table real quick, because the results have been updated. And as you can see right here, EM Dallas Bird are still above you guys, but only by a point. However, Lysinko Dose are above both Dallas teams with 10 points, tied with the second, third, and fourth place teams for now. But all those 3 teams are going to be playing tonight. So we'll see if there's going to be a gap forming between the top 4 and the rest. And we do have an interview lined up. Just going to get that set up very soon. So just bear with me for a second, chat. And here we go. Welcome on in. Palace of La Cinco Doce. Palace, a huge win right there. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually your second win in a row because you guys beat El Matador last week and now you beat EM Dallas Burn last week. How does it feel beating both FC Dallas teams this season?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what the hell's going on right now. I don't know what that was. Both teams, we were both throwing so bad in every single game. I don't know what I would. Let me take it back to game one, because we're own we're own goaling and shit. Devin has the thing on the backboard, and when that goal went in, I think we were up 1-0 at that point, and it tied the game up. When he hit that, he just goes, "Oh shit!" we just started fucking dying laughing. That was hilarious. Can we even call that a game? Not because we beat them, but neither team was good, respectfully. I don't know what that series was, if I'm gonna be completely honest. there was something in the water, and that something was not good Rocket League. But it does feel good to win. However, yeah, it does feel good to win. There is no however there. Overall, I would like to shout out Playboy Farty, mainly because you give us a reason. Well, not a reason. We have more of a reason, anyways. But this was the perfect time to put Hophead in for the first time. For those of you who are new to SGL, there's nobody watching the stream anyways. It's not like it matters. But I'm just gonna tell you all the story for the one person here who doesn't know. Devin and Hophead are father and son, as I'm sure Maz probably mentioned 90,000 times during that game. And it's really nice to have him in here, mainly just not only do we, for some reason, we actually play pretty good when he's in. That's just always been a phenomenon that I've noticed, but also it's just the vibes just go way up when he's in. So it's really, really nice to to bring him in and get him in here. That was very, very fun. I wish Playboy Farty had gone back in for game 4, so that way Hop could have come back in. Low-key, he could have come back in anyways. Not because, again, this is not a disrespect. I could have just said put him back in, and I just didn't for some reason. So I feel bad because I would have liked him to play more, but he will be back. That's not the last you've seen of Hophead 78, aka formerly 8 FKA Bust Insider 6996. Sorry, what was the original question?
You answered already. I basically asked how you feel beating both FC Dallas teams right here to get your 2 wins
but
of
I
the
won't
season.
feel good about shit until the actual Austin FC shitters beat FC Dallas on the fucking field. So yeah, it feels good, but I won't feel good until these shitters down in Austin win something against that stupid ass team in Frisco, respectfully. I'm sorry, I'm cussing a lot. I'm sorry, chat.
That's on you, bro. We're okay with cussing in SGL. Unless you go take it too far, which
yeah,
one person did a while back, if you remember.
Playboy Farty.
No, not him.
Playboy Farty. I wanna know who was the long nose MF. That's what I wanna know.
Right. The long nose thing. Okay, maybe we can include it in this interview, then we'll end it after this. But if he's not gonna bring it up, let me ask you this question, pals. You guys are looking incredibly cohesive now. You've only run this trio, but this trio has been, well, sorry, outside of that one Hophead appearance today, but your trio of Devin, Runsau, and you have been absolutely incredible. How far do you guys think you could go now that you are in sync with each other?
I think, well, first off, if that's in sync, then call me Justin Timberlake. Jokes aside, I think, I felt today was very sloppy personally, but when we gel, I mean, you saw it last week against EM, and you've seen it in brief flashes against TA and ECRC, who are, as y'all both know, very good teams. I think we can do some damage. I really, really do. Especially, I can't wait for the cup to start because we did some damage in that. What do you call it? I don't even know what's going on. I can't speak today, chat. I'm sorry. I feel like we can go pretty far, especially in the cup. But even in the league, I do feel that our ceiling is pretty high. So I know that the power rankings have been disrespecting us recently, and so just wait. We'll put some respect on our name, and we'll make you put some respect on our name.
Well, there you go. And I get that you guys were not that clean with your performance, but I was more so highlighting like the slick rotations that you guys had, the pressure that you guys kept up and maintained. Heck, even defensively, you guys were in a better shape than you were against EM. So that's what I was mainly trying to highlight. With that said, I think you pretty much answered my question anyways. How much more fun has it been playing with this team compared to your past teams, if it has been more fun for you?
I feel like fun is relative. I've had quite a lot of fun playing with the past teams, but it is fun to win as well. So I don't necessarily know if I can answer that question, just out of respect to everybody that I've played with, but also half of everybody that I've played with is on this team. But yeah, I think they've all been pretty fun, but it does feel good to win. I think that's the one thing that was consistently missing. Was like we've always been LV has always been a team, or I should say the Austin FC teams have always been teams with pretty high potential. And it's nice to like get some wins under the belt. So that way, we can push the envelope and really see, where exactly we can go. I think that's the one thing that like I would have wished for in the past seasons, because again, we played a lot of close games. We played a lot of game 5s last year and the season before. Didn't pan out our way. And so now that we are starting to turn a little bit of those results, I think that we can definitely do some more damage. And as the win-o-meter goes up, so does the vibe-o-meter. So that sounds like a sex toy. I'm sorry. But like, so the vibe meter goes up, not the vibe-o-meter.
Yep. I mean, well said until that very part at the very end. But anyways, let's focus on Devin real quick. Before the start of this match, and I'm going to flash this up for chat as well, Devin only had 1 goal in 20 shots.
Did he really?
Yes, he only had 1 goal.
Was it
Tonight, he got 2. Is this the start of Devin getting back into form with his goal scoring and finally contributing a whole lot more on the attack?
I mean, that's what happens when he plays the game. That's the short answer. When Devin plays the game, his results improve. So if he keeps playing the game, then I think so.
There you go. And speaking of playing the game more, this was Hophead's first appearance this season. Are we expecting to see more Hophead appearances for the rest of the season, or are we just going to wait until the next matchup against an FC Dallas team?
I want to play him more. I would love to play him again. So I think that's definitely not the last we've seen of him.
Heck yeah, well there you go. Hopefully we can get to see more of him. Now, with you guys, you, Runsao, and Devin, that is, playing so often together, is there like a thought in the back of your mind of your team getting way too predictable, or is there something in your team that can take you guys to the next level and make you more predictable as a trio?
I think if we learn how to, hey, if you're on another SGL Prem team you can mute this part and then come back in about 20 seconds when I'm done revealing certain things. If we can, I'll be real. If we can learn how to avoid demos, we'll be we'll be fine.
There it is. I mean,
yeah.
we in the podcast also talked about a couple of other things. You've received feedback, I'm sure, from a few other people as well. But you know what? That's true. I mean, if you guys avoid demos, you guys will be better off. But you guys have been responding in kind with demos as well. Is that something you're going to incorporate into your gameplay more often?
If I feel like demoing, then yeah. For those of you who know me, when I feel like demoing, then you know exactly what I bring to the table. I may not bring demos, but I bring I don't even know if you can call it chaos, because yeah, I'm just kind of running around the field just looking for anybody. So it we'll see in it.
Well, there you go. All right, Palace, I've asked all my questions I need to ask. Now it's your turn to speak your mind. The floor is yours. Go ahead, bro.
All right. First of all, Debit said, putting respect on all your teammates except you, David. Debit can suck it. No, I'm kidding. Shout out to everybody on Las Cinco Doce and Los Verdes. Both teams combined. Every person in here who represents Austin FC, who wears that flag on their shoulders, who flies that flag. You guys know that scene in One Piece where they're trying to get Robin back at Water 7, and then she's being held hostage by the government, and Luffy says, Usopp, shoot that flag. That flag is an FC Dallas flag, and Runesao, Debit, and our sniper himself, Hophead, shot through that flag, and we have for now vanquished the FC Dallas menace. However, I would like to shout out Hophead. I would like to shout out formerly known as Bust Insider 6996. Shout out Devin for bringing the vibes. They were eating 5 minutes before the game started, which is why Saul and I were in a game and we came into the lobby like 5 minutes late. Then shout out Saul, obviously, aka Runesao. Shout out Trig. I know he's been in here supporting all night. Richter, Mace, Sky, everybody who's been playing for LV. And I'm going to specify everybody who's been playing because there's a certain LV member in here who has not been playing. And so I'm not going to shout him out. But that's really all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in and letting me waffle, and thank you for letting me play Rocket League with y'all.
There you go, dude. I mean, that was really well said. I can tell you, poured your heart into those shout outs. That was incredible. Great to hear that.
Especially the debit one. The debit one was the most from the heart.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. We cannot forget about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there you go. Palace, the match winner once again. The bane of the FC Dallas sides once again. Thank you very much for hopping on in. Take care, and hopefully we'll catch you sooner than later. Commentary?
I can't tonight, unfortunately.
All right, I tried.
Wait. What time is the next match?
10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central.
Loki, I might be able to.
Keep me up to date.
We'll see. We'll see in it.
Indeed. All right, pals. I'll let you go right now. Thank you very much. Take care, and catch you next time.
Thank you. I made a nice chili last night. No, 2 nights ago, and I'm about to dig into that.
There you go. Enjoy that. Take care. Peace.
Thank you.
And there you go. That was Pals. Listen, chat. We are kind of doing it live right here. We have 2 more matches coming up, as you guys know. Let's dive into the schedule real quick so you guys see what I mean. You have KC Cauldron versus El Matador coming up in about an hour, and then Emerald City RC versus Timbers Army a little bit after that. Note that it may not kick off at 10:45 Eastern. It might actually kick off a little bit later. There's a chance that might get delayed so that we can get more of that action in on the main stream. With that said, though, KC Cauldron versus El Matador, you guys don't want to step away for that. That is going to be a really good one. And speaking of stepping away, don't do that. The stream is not going to go offline. We are going to take an intermission. And what I'll be doing in the meantime is I will be playing some videos from our YouTube channel to fill in the time. So expect to see a few compilation videos, our clips of the week from weeks 1 to 3 on our YouTube channel. And then I'll probably add in one of the matchups that we played this week to just play through until we get to the next match coming up, which is KC Cauldron versus El Matador. Will El Matador bounce back after their loss against La Cinco Doce? You've seen them this season so far. They beat EM Dallasburn, and that's about it. They've been losing since then. They have Luis. They have Gnostics, both of whom are absolutely incredible, but they don't have the players from last season who made them so good. Most of them are in EM Dallasburn. Kiwi has barely made an appearance, if at all. It's mostly been Skyline, Gnostics, and Luis. With Kuv coming in from time to time. So against KC Cauldron is going to be a very difficult matchup. Now Luis has been, really good, getting 11 saves and 21 demos, absolutely involved defensively to make sure that the opposition don't get a chance to get a clean attack, and clinical in front of the net as well. 13 goals off of 33 shots. And speaking of clinical, Skyline, by the way, 6 goals in 9 games, 6 goals in 11 shots. Really good from him as well. He just needs to settle in and get used to playing at this higher level against much tougher opponents. In the championship, he was doing just fine. In the Premier, though, he is facing a lot more players of a higher skill level, and he needs to adapt. We'll see if he can do that tonight, especially against this KC Cauldron side, which is going to be absolutely incredible. And then you have Gnostics, who has been one of the best players this season. Absolutely incredible, especially when it comes to creating chances and bringing the ball forward. His air dribbles are really good. His mechs have been great as well. Defensively, he's been really solid. It's just you're seeing the goals total be a bit low because he tends to take the toughest shots, and then the cleanup comes from Skyline and or Luis. And then you have the Kuv. Here's the thing. EM Dallasburn, keep playing Pico David. El Matador, keep playing Kuv. Kuv, whenever he's around, always makes an appearance. And that's what I like about these FC Dallas sides. They always rotate and give everyone a chance to get involved. So if you're around, you're going to play. That's their policy. Meanwhile, KC Cauldron have vastly improved with the addition of Fatality. He is arguably the best player in SGL this season, alongside Toad and Shaybomb. I will say this. Fatality, his addition has made KC Cauldron a title contender. 17 goals and 56 shots. I mean, this dude doesn't take easy shots either. He goes for goal with the toughest of shots possible. On the attack, he's excellent at getting the 50s and keeping up the pressure. He is really good at getting the demos and disrupting the opposition, preventing them from pushing up and establishing themselves. And he's really, really good defensively. I mean, this dude, when he starts to get going, he is unstoppable all over the field. And you've seen his teammates thrive. Smitty has stepped up his game, defensively gone way better, getting a lot more joy out of his passes. I mean, he has a lot more people taking shots, so he doesn't need to, do a lot of individual plays, because Fatality's going to be there. Serrano's also going to be there. And speaking of team plays, this team, when they get going, when they click, they're incredibly cohesive. Serrano loves to support his teammates, and with Smitty and Fatality going forward, he has a lot of good options. He doesn't need to worry about overextending and overcommitting. Though I will say this, I think he could step up offensively. Right now, he's kind of playing that bear blitz role, very much a support role, helping his teammates out, but I know he could step up and take over as well if and when needed. Debit, I know you're in this chat. I know you can vouch for me on that, for sure. So there you go, KC Cauldron versus El Matador. If we look at their team profiles, we start to see that KC Cauldron are better on the attack. They may not be as clinical, but they pepper you with shots. A lot of shots off the backboard, towards the goal. They make sure you don't get a second to rest. And that's how they wear you down. So even if they're not clinical, they will score goals. And as you can see, defensively, they're very good. They're one of the toughest teams to overcome. We saw that with Timbers Army. They've had a tough time, but they did eventually overcome this team. They saw, if I'm not mistaken, oh shoot, who did they play the first couple of matches? I need to remind myself. Apologies for that, chat. Yeah, they saw Sounders RC comfortably, and in week 2, they saw ECRC in a 5-game thriller. I mean, these guys keep up with the best, and they overcome the best as well. So don't be surprised if they're in it for the league title this season, as well as for the cup starting next week. Meanwhile, for El Matador, well, I mean, they don't have as good a team now, so they have to play to their strengths. They gotta make sure that Luis doesn't get pegged back or demoed a ton. They gotta hope that Gnostics can get involved and get the pressure off of Luis, and they need their third to step up. This is where I feel like they've missed someone like Kiwi. Kiwi has not been involved yet this season, as you've seen earlier. It's been Gnostics, Luis, and Skyline as their main trio, with Kuv coming in from time to time. So whoever that third is, whether it's Kuv or Skyline, they need to step up, and they need to make sure that they can play a big part for their team. Easier said than done, especially against KC Cauldron, but that's what they've had to deal with. That's why they're kind of at the lower end of the table as we go back to the standings right here. El Matador, second from bottom, tied on points with Sounders RC. The only reason they're above them is because they have one more win. That's it. That one match win is the tiebreaker. And they're below EM Dalspern, 4 points behind La Cinco Doce, of course, with a game in hand, match in hand. So, you know, we'll see how they do against KC Cauldron. But for them, they're going to be one of the teams in the lower half of the table. They're going to be one of the lower placed teams this season, which might come as a bit of a surprise, but that's where they are right now. KC Cauldron, meanwhile, are going to be in it for the title. If they can beat El Matador, they'll put themselves in a great position, 2 points behind Frontera Chrome, who have been fantastic this season. All right, chat, I've done a lot of talking for this upcoming matchup. I'm going to step away real quick. And actually, no. I'm going to talk about ECRC versus... I'm going to talk about ECRC versus Timbers Army as well. Here's the thing. We won't have much time to preview both matches. So let me just start with ECRC versus Timbers Army right now, and then we'll step away for a bit. So, ECRC versus Timbers Army. We've had some banger matchups already. You know, we start off with a 5-game thriller between the Rebellion and Steel Army, the top 2 teams in the championship. We then had a 5-game thriller between Sounders RC and Frontera Chrome. I could see this going to 5 games as well. These 2 teams have been absolutely incredible this season. ECRC, probably the best team defensively, one of the toughest teams to score against. And on the attack, when they get going, they're absolutely unstoppable with their quick passing and their intense pressure. These guys will make sure that you are going to keep chasing the ball and that you keep stretch yourselves silly, just trying to get even one touch on the ball. And Timbers Army, who Palace says has the best logo in SGL this season, I would say so for sure. Absolutely incredible logo. Timbers Army are now starting to find their groove, and with Rydog coming back in, this team is going to be absolutely unstoppable. Rydog being their anchor man, coming up with some massive saves and massive demos. I mean, when you think of Rydog, you think of insane saves. You think of saves that keep his team in the game, that prevent his team from going behind or, you know, getting the game tied. Right, when you think of Rydog, you're thinking of someone who goes for the demos on the opposite end and clears up the goal for his teammates to score. This guy is probably one of the best support players in SGL this season. And I would not be surprised if he becomes the key player for Timbers Army here tonight against Emerald City RC. When you have Nelly popping off, especially on the attack, and Loy Boy, the top goal scorer so far, I mean, all you need to do is just, you know, be the anchor in your team, prevent the ball from going in the back of your own net, and letting them work their magic. Nelly stepping up big time. A lot of good passes, a lot of good plays from him to set up Loy Boy and Rydog whenever Rydog comes up. And Loy Boy has been the star this season. I mean, he's continuing on from where he left off. The MVP of Season 9, continuing on this season in true form with 20 saves and 18 demos, as well as 21 goals and 58 shots. This guy is the guy for Timbers Army, the main attacking threat. When he gets even 1 second on the ball, good luck trying to deal with it. KC Cauldron learned that the hard way. When Loy Boy got going, they had no answer. They had absolutely no answer. And Emerald City RC have to watch out as well. But I think the key difference between KC Cauldron and Emerald City RC is Emerald City RC know how to organize themselves defensively. They know how to lock in and protect their net. And you see it right there. R7 RXCH, that's Gojo, by the way. Gojo with 20 saves, Toad with 28 saves. Both of them doing a stellar job of protecting their net. And then they create their chances on the counter. So Timbers Army got to watch out because they like to commit high up. They can get beaten on the counter by this Emerald City RC team. Now, the third hasn't been so consistent. Utopia and Spanky and Smashly have been getting involved whenever they've been around. So it's always been Gojo and Toad together. And then whoever the third is between Spanky, Utopia, and Smashly. Smashly, you might be surprised to see that he only has 1 goal, but he's still really good at getting those shots on net. Still really good at contributing on the attack. But I don't know if he's going to appear as often, especially against a tough team like this Timbers Army side. Then you have Utopia, who is still trying to settle into SGL, making his debut this season. Has done fine in several moments, but still trying to develop that consistency. And once he settles in, I think this Emerald City RC team is going to be incredibly tough to beat. Spanky, though, you know, he used to be with EC Eternal. Didn't get too much playing time on that side. No, he did. He did play quite a bit, sorry. But he just didn't look as effective. Now that he's back with Emerald City RC, he has been absolutely incredible. A goal-scoring machine. 7 goals with 15 shots, 7 and 6. You know, with a lot of the work that Gojo and Toad do on the attack with their incredible 50s, their incredible solo play, the passes that they play. Spanky is an incredible cleanup guy to get the goal and get that ball into the back of the net. So Timbers Army better watch out, because on the counter, don't be surprised if Emerald City RC got a quick goal. So chat, I have previewed both matchups. As you can see in the schedule right here, we will be kicking off KC Cauldron versus El Matador in less than an hour. And then after that, we'll be going to Emerald City RC versus Timbers Army. For now, though, I'm going to step away, but we are not going to end the stream. We will be back. But for now, just hang around and check out some of our YouTube videos that we have posted, starting with the clip compilation from weeks 1 to 3, followed by a matchup that I will be selecting to play to take us to KC Cauldron versus El Matador. That matchup is going to be a week 4 matchup, by the way. You'll see when I select it. But for now, we're going to go to the YouTube video and we're going to start playing those clips. Chat, I will be back. I will see you guys in a bit. Who knows if I'll have a commentator? We shall see. But for now, don't go away. We will be back in a little bit. See you guys soon. Chat, we are back right on cue for the second match of the night between KC Cauldron and El Matador. Oh, this one's gonna be a good one. Chat. I am not alone though. I have found a co-commentator. How about you introduce yourself? Slide on in.
Wait, this is the commentary chat? No, I'm kidding. What's up, SGL? My name is Palace512. I'll be honest, we are 1 minute late because this game was, was supposed to kick off at 10:30. It's 10:31 Eastern time, even though I don't live in the Eastern time because, let's be real, it's a shitter time zone. Mountain time is where it's at. So it's 8:31. But that's okay because I was born late, I'm here late, and I'll die late. So y'all can kick rocks, bro. We are here. West Coast, best coast. I 100% agree. See, we got some East Coast haters in the chat right now, and that's what I love to see because the East Coast stinks. I hope none of y'all are affected by the hurricane, even though I don't really think it's supposed to hit y'all. But just for extra benefit, I hope none of y'all are affected by that. But our eyes are all about to be affected by this Rocket League game because, frankly, I don't know what we're about to see. We got the KC Cauldron. Very, very strong team. I would venture to say that this is, I mean, obviously, yes, they did lose to Timbers Army last week, but I still think this is a top 2 strongest team in SGL. And El Matador, who has been a little bit spotty. So we'll see, how this goes. I'm predicting a KC Cauldron win, but EM does have pop-off potential, as I myself experienced last week. So, Maz, how you feeling about this game?
I think this is going to be a very difficult test for El Matador. I really hope they can step it up here. They need their best players to get going, and they need their third man to step up as well. And if they're not able to keep up with the pace, at least be a solid anchor and protect the back of the net. Otherwise, I think KC Cauldron's going to sweep him. And that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a sweep.
Okay. I'm going to say 3-1. Just because I don't like sweeps. So, yeah. I'm going to say 3-1, but I am still going to put this in favor of the Cauldron. I think that... I don't know. I think for me it depends. The series score depends on Serrano. But that's not to say that Luis and them do not matter. That's not to say that they are a non-factor, because that's just obviously not true. So I think that's obvious to anybody who has watched this league and who has eyes to see and or ears to hear with commentary. So yeah, I do think that this is going to be a KC Cauldron win.
Indeed, and we're just waiting for everyone to get in. Everyone is now in, and we are now going to kick off. Let's not wait too long. Let's get this started right now. Luis, I'm glad you're here. I needed someone to support me on the East Coast time zone. Glad you're around here. But for now, we are going to jump right into this matchup. Both teams are now heading in. And once we load in, Palace, I need your comments on both lineups. We have Fudge, Thorngold, and Serrano for Cauldron. Gnostics, Luis, and Skyline for EM. Here we go. Game 1 kicks off right now.
EM bringing their strongest lineup out here, and I think that's the correct call against a team like this. Luis starting off with a little bit of, I think he was trying to, it looked like he was trying to pass, but knowing Luis, I never know what he's doing, because everything that you think is meant to be a pass, it turns out is a solo play, because he's just going to get back to the ball. So yeah, that's kind of start we're off to. I feel like today everybody has kind of woken up on the wrong side of the bed. So we'll see if this is sloppy or we'll see if this is clean.
Now, with that said, I'm very surprised by this Cauldron lineup. This is like a throwback to, their OG lineups from back in the day. You have Thorngold and Bunch with Serrano. A Season 7 special right here. They've even fielded this lineup a good few times in Season 8. Surprised to see no fatality in Smitty right here, but it doesn't matter. Serrano gives them the lead. EM all open, parting like the Red Sea. And Serrano gives them the lead, 1-0.
I'm just seeing Bunch's clan tag. For those of y'all who can't see it, Bunch's clan tag is hung. Hey, yo. What's going on? Bunch, are you good? You better give me some of that BDE this game if your clan tag is hung, bro. Because right now your team is starting off good, but you better give me some of that energy as well.
Oh, what a
We're starting off with a
from
save.
Bunch!
Danger's not out yet. Total Toadster, if he flipped into that, which I think he meant to, that was just an unlucky double jump, just slightly mistimed that. If he flips through that, then obviously that's much more threatening, and knowing him, I wouldn't be shocked if he had put that top corner, but now Luis back in the middle. Total Toadster bumps Serrano out the way, but unfortunately misses the ball as Funch is going to clear it to the side, and Luis gets bumped by his teammate, which unfortunately does not allow him to set up for a solo play, but that's okay because he's got Indestructible coming down the field who has his pocket picked by Serrano, and Luis, I think that's his second or third demo of this game already.
And speaking of Luis, not only can he demo, he could dribble it out too, but not for too long. Serrano is back! His second! It's been the Serrano show tonight! Without Fatality and Smitty, he has stepped up with 2 massive goals. The Cauldron lead 2-0.
Only one person that I know has woken up on the right side of the bed today, and that person is Serrano. His second goal, and geez, I mean that's up there with one of his best this season. You know, sometimes you don't need to be too fancy, just a nice little touch on the backboard, and then just bang right into the middle where there's no defender. Perfect.
Speaking of fancy, we saw El Matador try something fancy right there. Gnostics, aka Indestructible in game with a good air dribble. Luisa trying to go for a musty. Doesn't really come off in the end, and maybe simple is effective. Should be the approach for El Matador too, because they're trying, but they have overextended on a couple of different occasions.
The simple stuff is what's gotten them their opportunities in the other end. Here comes Serrano. That's an awkward touch in the middle from Gnostics to set Serrano straight up, in 3 minutes into this game, he's got a hat trick, 1 goal per minute.
This is absolutely insane. Now, before we went into our lengthy intermission chat, I was talking about Serrano being more of a third man with Smitty and Fatality. Without those two guys, Serrano is the top dog, not only for KC Cauldron, but against El Matador too. He has been the dominating factor in this matchup, and he gets his well-deserved hat trick. We shall see if the rest of the players can step up and contribute.
You were talking about all that stuff earlier. You know, Serrano could be a third man. Serrano was asleep for all that, by the way. He did not hear a word you said. He disregarded every single bit of advice you gave him, and right now it's paying off.
Oh no, not that good. I would never dare give Serrano advice on how to play this game. No, I was just saying, I think Serrano has the capability to step up and do more, and he's doing it right now. I think it helps that he doesn't have a Smitty and Fatality to, you know, allow them to do their thing. Thorngold and Bunch have given him the foundation for him to play with more freedom, and right now he is thriving.
For sure. And I think one of the other things that should be noted is that Serrano knows this team very well. A lot of us are in the public chat every night, which, by the way, anybody in this server who would like to come in and just hang out with us, play a couple private matches, you're always more than welcome. Serrano is consistently in there, and so are these two, Indestructible and Total Toadster, aka Skyline, as well as Luis. He's always on with these guys, so he knows exactly what each of these guys are going to do, and he's just had their number this entire match. As he has it again, sees Luis with an awkward clearance, but isn't able to steer that one on target. Although, Bunch back in the middle for Serrano again, onto the crossbar. Can Bunch put that in? Off the post, man. But it's cleared out just before Thorngold can get there. And now Luis, does he have an open net? He does. Is there life for EM?
I don't know. That's too little too late with only 14 seconds remaining. But you know what? If you're El Matador, you take that. A quick kickoff goal, and they're right back in this. We'll see what happens right here, right now, chat. Here we go. Can El Matador get this goal off a kickoff?
We'll see if there's any kickoff shenanigans. They send to Luis with the cheat. Total Toaster, can he get the shot off? No, it's not on target, and that probably will do it for this first game. As Indestructible pops a solo play that's not going to go in. Even if it did, it's not going to be enough time, and they will put it in right as it goes to 0-0, but game one is taken by the Cauldron.
And you know what? Good effort right there by EM to step up and get those goals. Unfortunately, it was too little too late. Serrano, the star of the show in this game one, the MVP, 710 points, a hat trick, and 3 saves as well. What a start for KC Cauldron without both Smitty and Fatality.
That is wild. Well played, Serrano. I will say EM woke up at the end of the game. Either that or KC took their foot off the pedal, but that's not the last we've seen of EM. But man, Serrano in that first game just absolutely dominant. I mean, what else can you say? He was everywhere on the field. I would like to take a look at Funch though, not just because of his funny clan tag, but he had 4 saves in net. I think on the defensive end, I do think he was showing that BDE, that big defense energy.
Some will say Funch laid his pipe down in front of that goal and made sure no ball could go through. Am I right?
Bombocla. He said, Maz, please. He told you to shut your ass up. Hey, yo.
In-game chat, by the way. That's an in-game chat.
I've never seen nothing like that before. He put it in the in-game chat to tell you.
Well, you know what?
You know what, Serrano? I hope y'all win just for saying that.
You know what that means? They are listening to us, and they are listening to our commentary. Here we go, Serrano, the MVP in game one. Will El Matador respond with an MVP performance from either Luis, Indestructible, or even Skyline? We shall see. But they need their team to step up right here. And it's KC Cauldron with a fast start. Luis barely getting away with it, Palace. What can El Matador do to get back into this right now? They're on the back foot already.
I think just keep the ball close to you right there. Toadster did a good job right there to keep it close to him, set up a 50. Unfortunately, he was in the way when his teammate tried to get there. Luis, with no boost, floats it into a backfield with 2 KC Cauldron defenders. But now, Indestructible, starting with the solo play, gets it over 1. Who's there? It's Total Toaster onto the backboard again. KC is awkward right there. Luis couldn't redirect it on the double tap over the 2, but that was good pressure right there. Unfortunately, they did let out the Cauldron, so we'll see if that comes back to bite them. But good start.
Palace, it doesn't matter who they have. This KC Cauldron team is defensively solid. Oh my goodness, I thought Luis was going to get that second touch. But you know what? They have the luck on their side. They don't need Fatality and Smitty to get the big saves and hold on tight. They've done it before with Thorigold and Funch. They can do it again. This, chat, is KC Cauldron.
You know what's just occurring to me, Maz? Is if these guys are listening to our commentary, then they can hear what I'm saying. Serrano,
careful.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Okay.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
I think the message has been said. Now they're gonna mute you for that. You know that, right?
They've definitely already muted us. Oh, open net. Who's there? No, wait, but it was turned in by Total Toaster. A disaster on the back line. And that's a horrible way to put the Cauldron up after you have so much good momentum and things that you carried over from game one.
Oh no, feels bad, man. Skyline front flipping to reach for the ball. Instead, the forward momentum was just enough for that ball to curl into the back of the net with the assistance of the post.
The worst part is he didn't even need to go either. It was way off target.
He didn't know that that ball was curling towards the net. I can see why he reacted to that, to be fair. With that said, they're now set back right here. We'll see how they respond to this.
150, won by Luis. Now Luis puts it into the middle. Total Toaster floats it to Serrano. Serrano with an awkward touch. Indestructible off the backboard. Can he redirect this down? Just off the crossbar, over Funch. And now it's over to Luis. Luis, what does he have off the sidewall? Goes to the ceiling? Never mind, he doesn't go to the ceiling. I don't... I don't know how to end that sentence, so I'm gonna hand it over to Maz.
You know what? I'm gonna look at the chat because I see a couple of notable KC Cauldron players in there. Smitty and Fatality watching their team concede the equalizer.
Wait, backwards
Destructible.
takeoff? Backwards takeoff into a double tap assist from Luis? Hold up, are you serious? Yo,
Clip that.
what was that?
Clip that. What an insane pass right there. Luis setting up a dive with an insane backwards takeoff. Chat, that is not easy. Luis makes it look easy, but it's absolutely not easy. And indestructible Gnostics, with all the solo goal efforts that he had, finally gets the goal with the assistance of Luis, and now they need to defend. Luis on the backboard, gets the second touch, follows it up with a third, past KC Cauldron, now goes for the bump on Fudge, Fudge misses, and Serrano has all the time in the world to bring it out. But Palace, this is much better for EM, but they gotta hold on now.
Serrano was lucky to be alive in that net, and KC right now a little bit lucky to be alive in this game. But Serrano floats it over to the backward. Luis is there. Toaster almost gets in the way. He's making me nervous every time he's on the ball in the back corner. Serrano, does he have a second? Not quite. Just couldn't get his nose on it, and now it's a race to the ball.
Oh, no.
But Indestructible bumped Luis off of it, and that might have deterred his ability to take the shot into an open net. I don't know, but he got the demo, and it's still in the backfield.
I think Indestructible was trying to let it go for Luis. Gnostics was like, all right, you go for the demo, I'll go for the shot, but then he had zero boost, and Serrano got there right on time. Now Gnostics with a shot. What a save by Fudge, by the way. I know he had the boost, but he used barely any of it to get up to the top of the goal. And let that be a lesson learned to those of you watching. You don't need the boost to go all the way up to the top of the goal. You just need two big jumps. That's what Fudge did right there.
Luis kept it close to him to set that up, but now the ball is floating towards the EM net, although Luis gets it right back. Does he have a teammate with him? He doesn't need a teammate with him! Luis takes the lead for El Matador with 16 seconds left to go. What control!
Palace, it had to be Luis. Of course, when the going gets tough, when El Matador need a hero, Luis turns up, and now they're 2-1 up with 16 seconds to go. What a perfect timing for what could be the game-winning goal.
Come on, EM. Hold on. I did say I wanted 3-1, and at the very least, you're going to get the 1. So my prediction for now is still on track. So chat, I would like everybody in chat to go down there and call Maz a shitter for predicting a sweet. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
No, say it. Put me on the spot.
Jokes aside, we talked about EM having that momentum at the end of the game 1. And I mean, man, they really took that into the game. Look at that shot total. 13 shots. To KC Cauldron's 2. I mean, they really turned it around in that game.
Oh, interesting. Skyline scored, no?
He did not. Indestructible and Luis did. How about that own goal? Oh, true. Oh my God, it wasn't even a shot. You're right. It wasn't even a shot that KC scored on. It was the own goal.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Thank you for the reminder, Skyline. Because yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yep. So all EM players scored. Skyline with the own goal. Of course, the game won't show that because this is Rocket League after all and not soccer. But Shea Bomb, you're in chat. Feel free to pass the message to the devs. Let them know. Make own goals a track stat. Let's go.
It should be -1 for every own goal. So if you finish with 0 goals in a game, but you scored an own goal, your goal total should say -1. But speaking of things that have a dash and a 1, this game is 1-1, and we'll see Thorin Gold getting a good kickoff to start for the Cauldron. But now Luis is going to take this off the wall. We've seen what he can do. This guy is doing everything he can to make me say his name. And which is unfortunate because I did say I was going to ignore him as much as I possibly could. But how can I ignore someone like Luis?
Well, you know what? With how he plays, it's very tough to take your eyes off of Luis, and I totally get it. But right now, KC Cauldron need to focus on their game and get back into it. The Skyline's going for the shot off of the corner. That was close. Not over yet. Pass between the two friends. Not6 and Skyline, who goes for another shot. Low but weak. And Cauldron hold on.
Bunch. Now taking this over. Can he get it past Total Toaster? He cannot. The Golden Fennec holds strong for now. Luis has boost, but Serrano knows immediately not to entertain any kind of BS like that because he knows you can get burned. No Dallas.
Ooh, I don't know if they'll like to hear that. Fortunately for EM Dallas Burn, they got beat by your God. Oh my goodness. Have you seen a dunk attempt like that? The ball bouncing that high?
Bro, he put the bunda on it. I'm sorry, Thorin Gold. I just ruined your goal with me talking about. I'm so sorry, bro. You're going to have to watch that on mute. But, hey, nice shot, though. Wrong-footed the goalie right in the middle. You know, leave him planted to the spot. That was nice. Shout out to you, Thorin Gold. But you might want to mute at the point of the goal. I'll be real.
And you know what? For Thorin Gold, that is his specialty. He is very good at putting the ball in the back of the net, finishing, and getting the saves. Those are the two things he is best at. And right now, he's kicking off another attack. Loft to get towards the backboard. Serrano comes in, gets another goal, and he is back on the score sheet yet again. The Cauldron are 2-0 in this game 3.
KC don't even need to put shots on target in order to be effective. All they need to do is make you awkward. And that's exactly what got them that goal right there.
One thing I want to highlight in chat is Trigger's message. He said, KC played beautiful Rocket League and have for years, to be honest. I fully agree. It doesn't matter who they have. They play great Rocket League, but that came at a very bad time. Chris, the commentator right there. What a fade!
Bam!
By Not6, what a beat! Assisting his friend Skyline. And you know what? For that, I have to pop this out. That's on me. My fault, chat. My fault.
Oh, I'll be honest. I was waiting for you to do a sound effect.
No, not a sound effect, but it's a gift.
I thought you were gonna do the bombo clap.
No. We saved that for the special moments. In fact, I'll let you run.
That was special. What do you mean? He faked two people out of their ankles. How is that not special?
Because I know that Indestructible is capable of more than that. He showed it too. Especially that double against EM Dallas Burn in week 1. All this talk about Matador and their great individual plays, but it is KC Cauldron that have the lead, courtesy of their great team play. Look at Funch come up and go quick. It's incredible to see how far Funch has come to, pals.
Absolutely.
And speaking of, look at that.
Saves the goal last second on the goal line. Great flick from Luis, but Funch did very well to get back and recover that. Now Thoringold versus Luis. Thoringold is going to win that battle, but Luis just able to get it past Toronto. There's nobody back in the KC Cauldron net, but Skyline not able to get a touch on it for what surely would have been 2-2.
And that would have been the perfect time for the equalizer as well. I know they still have time, but they have to take advantage of these moments. Not6 not able to get that. I could see what he was trying to go for, but KC Cauldron did a good job keeping that ball close to the wall. And now at the other end, Serrano off the corner, open it towards the middle, and Luis said, nah, you guys aren't going to have that goal. I'm going to take it away. So Serrano gets the second, courtesy of Luis.
As Luis, in the words of the famous Luis Suarez dollar, my goal.
You know what? I couldn't have said any better. That's it. That's perfect. There you go.
Wait, is that just it?
No words. Take it away, pals.
There we go.
Oh, Lord. All this
Luis scores at one end. Skyline scores at the other. He's got both goals this game, by the way. I would like to say he's made up for his own goal.
He has 4 goals, 5 if you count that own goal. That's insane. Of all the people who you'd expect to lead in the goal scoring, it is Skyline for El Matador. And so far, so good. El Matador is still in this, despite their struggles. It is game 3. If they win this, who knows what will happen afterwards.
Thoringold, he had Indestructible beaten, but he didn't have the right angle to touch the ball. Now Luis tries to trap it, can't quite settle it down. And Serrano with another dangerous foray into the EM half of the field. Funch couldn't quite get the touch. Now Toadster up to Luis. Does he have a double? He does, but it's quickly snuffed out by Serrano, who takes it down the other end. And if he doesn't get demoed, then you never know what's going to happen. But right now, EM back with it. This game is getting feisty.
Absolutely, and it's getting hot, spicy in there too. Skyline, by the way, really stepped up his game, and El Matador look way slicker now. Skyline being a big part, indestructible, in the zone. Luis contributing everywhere he goes. And now Fon shot towards the net, but it's a slow bouncer. Again, another slow bouncer. Don't get
Who's there?
Skyline does just enough to keep it out. We enter the final 30 seconds, and now it's Thorngold's turn to keep it out. Palace, this sequence is insane.
Can Thorngold finish him off? No, his touch goes just wide. But now Luis has to go through multiple KC defenders, but he can't quite beat the second. Bunch, all they're trying to do is just keep it in their half. Indestructible. Can he get this to the side? Luis can't quite keep it up, and that's a Game 3 win for the Cauldron to take a 2-1 series lead and go on match point. That's the type of game I expect from these two teams.
That was close. KC Cauldron have to breathe a sigh of relief right there. I don't know how Fatality and Smitty are watching this and being like, you know what, we'll keep watching. If I wanted to go for the win at all costs, I'd be throwing those two in. But you know what? Serrano has been incredible. Thorngold and Fudge have done a great job so far. If it's up to me, I'd keep them going.
Yeah, I agree. When Serrano's on top of the score sheet like that, it's really hard to stop KC. Luis said in chat, any ready uppers?
Hey, listen, I know they have the stream unmuted. They're listening to us. One thing I want to say about El Matador, you guys tried so hard. You did so well. Had so many good attacking plays. At the end of the day, KC Cauldron won, though. So what will it take for El Matador to come back now? They have done all they could. Is this as far as they can go, or do you think they can take us to Game 5?
They can take us to Game 5, absolutely. I think if they just allow a little bit more space to each other, because again, there were still some moments in that game where they got in each other's way. I think if they, clean it up just a little bit, allow each other just a little bit more space, I think there's no reason that we can't go to Game 5.
Indeed, and here we go. Game 4 kicks off now. For us to go to Game 5, EM have to make their shots count, and they have the early initiative, but KC Cauldron once again hold on. It takes way more than that to get the goal, and EM have a second opportunity to no avail, and I think Cauldron are going to see this off.
And look who it is in the back yet again. It's Funch. We've been calling his name all day long. In the back, he has been darn near flawless.
And he's going to keep that up. Getting a key bump. Thorngold bringing it out to the other end. And Serrano with under boost. He can do a lot of damage, but Skyline, oh my goodness, engaging with him. Making sure he doesn't get a free opening. Luis gets beaten by Thorngold right there. Great work by Thorngold as well. Everyone is stepping it up right now. Not gonna lie, I expect this to be one-sided, but so far we're seeing some great Rocket League from everyone in this matchup.
Absolutely. It's so easy to let those slip right by you. Is that... No, that's not Cauldron, is it? Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, I know I can read from the side. I haven't lost that. But you know who hasn't lost it either? I was going to say Serrano because I was expecting him to score that. But that shot rolls just wide and now indestructible. Let's see what he can do from the side. Luis is also up. He's got an option, but chooses not to use it. And now Toaster loses the 50 on the midway line, but Luis is able to track back just in time to save a surefire goal for EM.
I was kind of worried, Palace, because Luis and Gnostics were both up there. Once again, they're both up there. Cauldron bringing two people out to keep that ball out of the blue net.
Hey, if it works, it works. So far, it hasn't worked, so I'm going to tell y'all to stop doing that right now, please. But honestly, to each their own. Hold up, is that just in from Funch? It might have been, but Luis wanted to see off the danger regardless. Luis fakes out Serrano on the back wall. Does he have an option? He has one off the post. It didn't quite bounce where he wanted it to, but Toadster, what does he have? He's able to get a deflection on the touch from Thoringold, and now that's floating towards the net, but ultimately nothing is going to come out of it for EM, but promising stuff.
Absolutely, they have been looking really good. Once they stop those double commits, I think they'll be fine, but the ball went across that orange net. No one was there on time, and EM can breathe a sigh of relief for now. As Luis tries to go for a psycho, and Gnostics barely gets it out.
EM is walking the tightrope as quickly as they can. Their life continues to flash before their eyes, but they have not fallen off yet. That's the key thing. The harness is still working. Total Toadster. Now with the shot off the backboard, he should be the first to it. He hesitated. If he didn't hesitate, he surely has that.
He is capable of getting up there. He should be more confident about that. And he tries to make up for it, cutting for the ball. Luis, though, can still take over. 6, 4, post snipe, and Matador take the lead with 97 seconds remaining.
It's that second touch from Luis that always makes you second guess yourself as a defender, and that set up Indestructible, aka Gnostics, perfectly. Back post slot. That's exactly my spot when it comes to the goal, but that's in real life. So Gnostics, please don't steal my thunder anymore. You got the ice, but I got the thunder.
And so far we'll see if that thunder brings lightning with it as Luis takes over. One touch, pops it up, Serrano gets it up, keeps control. Thoringold finally bounces it away. And now Skylight takes over. Gnostics going for it again, off target, but this should allow El Matador to keep control and waste more time as the clock ticks down to the final 60 seconds.
Indestructible, does he have another? Not quite, can't get it past Thoringold, but Serrano is going to settle it in the midfield, and let's see what he does with it. Floats a long one, no homo, and Total Toadster over to Funch. I'll be honest, I lost my train of thought, but Serrano, can he put this in? Not quite. Indestructible just able to recover, but Funch with the shot, but it's met easily by Total Toadster, and now the ball, hold up a minute, that's dangerous, but Thoringold has time, and he throws it away.
Good God, I've been holding my breath for the past like 15 seconds right there as we head to the final 30 seconds. Funch towards the net, and Gnostics keeps it out. They gotta waste time, they can't afford to give Cauldron another chance. As they still lead 1-0. Here we go. Ball in the orange half. Funch with 0 boost. Luis trying to waste as much time as possible. Surrounded out to the backboard.
What's up?
Palace, can we get a winner right here? Or can we get... No, we don't get a goal. Matador, take us to Champions Field.
I said it before this game. I said there's no reason we can't go to Champions Field. You know, even though it wasn't the cleanest game from EM, they were still getting in each other's way a little bit. It's effective. You know, if it works, it works. It doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get there. And, I mean, my goodness, this game is separated by such fine margins. Literally, both teams with... Actually, that's a lie. KC Cauldron actually did have one more shot than EM, but they had one less save. EM coming out with 6 saves, whereas KC Cauldron coming out with 5. So, I mean, it really is just fine margins in this game. This is Champions Field now. Anything can happen. You know, take all previous logic, take all, oh, this team should win, this team should win, throw it out the window. We're in Game 5.
Damn, man. The plumber has been summoned. Christian is here to catch Game 5, and he says El Matador are gonna come up clutch. Not gonna lie, if I was Cauldron, I'd go for Fatality and or Smitty to come in and see this Game 5 off. But I think they're sticking with the same lineup, and yes, they are. Funch, Thoringold, and Serrano going all the way to Game 5. Here we go, Champions Field, winner takes all. Can EM get a big upset and beat the Cauldron? Or will Cauldron see them off and finish in the top 2.
Somebody said earlier that the Prem is the content league. I think that was me, if I'm going to be completely honest. The Prem is the content league. How many Game 5s have we had this season, and how many of them have involved the KC Cauldron? I know we talk about EM as a content team a lot, but I don't think KC Cauldron gets enough credit for the amount of content they produce for this channel.
And for this community. I mean, you guys are being served an insane matchup right here. We thought this was just going to be a formality, but we're seeing an incredible showing from El Matador. Let's give them credit as well. Luis, Skyline, and Gnostics all stepped up. This is the best Skyline has looked. This is the best Gnostics has looked. And Luis is thriving with how good his teammates have been here tonight.
EM continues to get better and better as they play with each other. As now, finally that indestructible to Luis combo works, but Thorngold yet again is quick enough to cut that out before Luis can get that second touch on the reset, although Serrano deleted off the field, and now it's indestructible versus 2. Has the ball on top, but couldn't get the flick off in time.
Luis with a bounce right there. Bounce! I thought they were going to set up for something special, but it's a standard backboard play, and Funch brings it out. Right now, Cauldron look a little tentative. We'll see if they can take over now that the ball's in the orange half. Funch keeps it up. Thorngold probably going to recover. Serrano going for the shot off the backboard. I thought he was going to go for goal right there. Gets it way above that crossbar. And EM get away with it, but they still have to defend.
I think he might have been expecting one of his teammates to be weighted in the middle, but unfortunately it didn't pan out that time. However, Funch versus Total Toaster. Funch wins that. Thorngold with the shot. It forces a two to jump, and Luis is able to send it to the ceiling. Good lord.
House, this has been absolutely breathtaking right here. Who cares if it's not the highest quality Rocket League you're watching? This is edge of your seat drama right now. This game 5 is still 0-0. We are approaching halftime as well. It could go either way. I don't know where this is going to go. Both teams have been evenly matched the whole time.
I'll be real, the level of this is way higher than in the first game. Thorngold couldn't quite reach it. The pinch was just a little bit too quick across the goal, and now Total Toaster up to Luis, but I heard Serrano jump even before Luis did. That is insane, that read right there. But now Thorngold, a little bit awkward. Funch gets it past Total Toaster, but only makes it as far as indestructible. Is he going to make a play on the ball? He will, but none of the Cauldron are going to follow up as Luis takes it safely to the backboard.
And the ball is stuck in front of that orange goal. But El Matador doing a great job of making sure that Cauldron don't get a nice, easy look. Serrano trying to go for a quick shot. Couldn't reach the ball off the backboard. Thorngold sitting in the midfield, being more pragmatic, making sure that EM don't get an easy chance. Beats 2 right there. Has to take it to the other end. Pinches it off the wall. Oh my goodness, it's perfectly placed. No touch though. Serrano hanging back. Funch trying to go for it to no avail. And EM still hold on. Thorngold gets the lead. The perfect time. And KC Cauldron are 1-0 up.
How many shots have we seen in this game float off the post or the crossbar? That one was perfectly placed directly underneath exactly what he needed. And now Funch has the opportunity for a second, couldn't quite guide it in, but now EM on the back foot. Funch still causing problems in front of the net. Indestructible, awkward, and on no boost, has to take a 50. Serrano in the middle, no one's there. Thorngold for a 2-0 lead with 1 minute left to go.
KC Cauldron decided not to bring out Fatality and Smitty. They're stuck with this trio, and now they've been duly rewarded. Thorngold with a big-time brace. Cauldron 2-0 up. Chat, this is what you call absolute cinema.
This is cinema. Because again, I said earlier, the quality of this game has been way higher than whatever the heck we got in the first match of the night. But, these two teams have played incredible so far, and we got a minute left to go. We got 45 seconds. EM starting to pepper the net. They're starting to go. Luis floating into the middle. Serrano's awkward, and Indestructible is going to get the ball right over him. That moment of hesitation is all it took, and EM are right back into this.
Not gonna lie, I thought Cauldron were ready, but Thorgold was in no man's land. Once you get past the near post, you have to be on the back wall to get the ball high up. Luis gets it over him. Gnostics with the goal. We are gonna enter the final 30 seconds very soon. Chat, hold on to your seats. We are gonna have an incredible finish to this game 5.
Take us to overtime, you cowards. You won't. Bunch. Oh, gets bumped by Luis. Now Luis still has control of it. Takes it past Serrano. Who's there? Indestructible! Yes, overtime. Please hold on.
Nothing else to say, but absolute cinema!
Sorry, I tried to time that to interrupt you saying cinema. 20 seconds left. What further twist in the tail do we have here? Indestructible keeps it close to him, gets a good 50 with Thorngold. Serrano able to get it past Total Toadster, has to fling it to the backward. Bunch puts it on the backboard. Serrano's up, but so is Indestructible. And is this ball gonna go safely down into Luis's car? That's gonna go in. 0 seconds. EM has turned it around from a 2-0 deficit in this game to win in 5.
I cannot believe we have seen what we have seen right here, pals. I'm freaking speechless, bro. I'm stuttering right now with the excitement that we've had right here. Chat. Oh, Matador have upset KC Cauldron. They win game 5 3-2, and they win this match 3-2.
I mean, wow.
Oh my God.
That not only was that, I mean, I guess you could definitely say the result was unexpected, especially considering our predictions and the predictions of the chat. However, I mean, just wow. I cannot believe that ending. Luis in the perfect spot at the perfect time with the perfect trap, and there was nobody stopping him. Man.
Oh my God.
That's heartbreaking if you're the Cauldron, especially thinking with 1 minute left, by the way. There was 1:04 on the clock when when the Cauldron went up 2-0.
I don't know how they did it. El Matador. I think that's their second win. I just never expected the second win to come against KC Cauldron of all teams. Granted, it's a KC Cauldron that played Thorngold and Funch, but they've still been so good. But,
and Thorngold and Funch are not bad. Like,
yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. Those are still two very good players.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'll be real. Did you guys hear me screaming when that last goal went in, or was I cutting in and out? Because typically when I talk loud on Discord, it tends to do that. So I'm actually curious. What did y'all hear?
I didn't hear you get cut off, and if I didn't hear you get cut off, then Twitch didn't hear you get cut off either. You know what?
Bumbleclat.
I'm gonna have to cut you off right there. Perfect time with the Bumbleclat, because Skyline with the 5 gifted subs, and he kicks off the high trade as well. Oh my Lord, Skyline, you didn't need to do that, bro. Please. Okay, now we need to fund a freaking SGL LAN. We have no excuses anymore. Luis, debit, let's get that plan going. We need to get something going right there, ASAP.
Skyline, you're our sugar daddy, because you're literally the only one who be gifting subs. So I'm counting on the funding from you. Skyline gifts subs. He gifts 1 sub for every own goal that he scores, which is why he's put 5 in here. No, I'm kidding. Jokes aside, 1 gift sub for every game. You know, that was cinema. Well played, Skyline.
Oh my God.
Well played.
You know what's even crazier? We are now jumping into what is going to be probably arguably the matchup of the week. I know we already had that with the Rebellion and Steel Army, and now this. God, I thought Sounders versus Frontera was insane, because that was a 5-gamer as well. But chat, we are going to be jumping into Emerald City RC versus Timbers Army very soon. And you know what? We're going to get started right about now. Both teams are in, and we're ready to kick this off.
I mean, how do you follow that? We're about to find out because there is literally only one rivalry in the entirety of MLS that can produce magic to rival what we've just seen, and that is Seattle versus Portland, especially when you take these two teams, two of my top 3 teams in this league, going head to head. This is a clash of titans. Welcome everybody if you are just tuning in, and if you are at the bar with Ashley, welcome. I hope that we are on the TV, and if we are, I hope you can hear us, and I promise I'm not going to curse.
Here we go! What a fast-paced start this has been already! Both teams are at it. Both teams are willing to get that early goal. And it is Rydog pushing it forward, going for the dunk on Gojo. Oh my goodness, what an insane effort that was too. And Timbers Army keep up the pressure. Loyboy, and now Nelly can't really get clean touches. Toad beats Rydog, and now Gojo kickstarts the attack.
Sometimes I forget that R7 is Gojo, but there's 2 of them right there. Utopia causing a little bit of awkwardness on the goal line for Portland, but unfortunately the last wasn't there. Toe Death wasn't there to clean that one up, but man, that's an opportunity missed right there.
Oh my goodness, what a bump! Oh boy, but Toad! Of course it has to be Toad! He always gets there when his team need him most. Probably the best defensive player in SGL this season. Makes himself count yet again.
Gojo, who's there for... I'm sorry, Chad. I'm still processing the series from that we just seen. I can't even speak properly right now. Toe Death forces... I thought 2 were going, but hold up a minute. Is that just in? What? What's going on? What a save!
I
a squishy when the ball's already 70% over the line.
Wow. Help me, fill me in, dude. I'm trying to process everything that just happened.
I mean, yeah, so am I, frankly. The whole minute, ball's floating dangerously, but there's no such thing as danger when you've got Loyboy defending your net. Because all he's got to do is just get it to, I don't know how he does it. He just gets the perfect touch every single time, controls the ball, and just gets his team out of danger. I've never seen anything like that. Goes for the backwards musty to try and set something up. Unfortunately, he was met by Toe Death, but now Toe Death over to Utopia, who swings it just a little bit wide, but Nelly with an errant touch to set it up for Toe Death. But right now, I think it's just a little bit of pinball. Team's still potentially setting in. Is that just in? No, it's not just in. Rydog is there. Gojo, little miss. Right now, ECRC, I think, have been the more aggressive team, and they're rewarded for it as Toe Death gets the ball right off the bounce, off the crossbar, reads it perfectly, and that's 1-0 to ECRC.
He does it defensively, Palace, and now he does it on the other end. An insane double, reading that bounce off the crossbar and getting the lead for ECRC at the perfect time. Timbers Army, it's your turn now. What is your response?
Now Rydog up to Loyboy, gets the bump on Toe Death. Does Loyboy have a second? Not quite. Gojo able to beat Nelly to that ball, but Loyboy able to collect. And now wants to start something again. Loyboy, what does he have? Opts to go to the ground, makes it awkward. Nelly, but couldn't quite get the touch on that. And as ECRC is going to make it out of their half unscathed for now.
Second chance though for Loyboy. Ooh, I thought he was trying to set up for a musty right there. I don't think he had that second dodge. Now his teammates got to get both. Open net! And that is Timbers Army in a nutshell. Rydog leading the way with the demo. Nelly going for the shot. Timbers Army are back in it. 1-1 in game 1.
Two of the most physical teams in this league really showcasing their stuff right there. Rydog with the perfect demo to set that up. And yeah, the easiest goals to score are the ones where you don't have a defender anymore. But that's honestly not even true, because I feel like, I'll be honest, for me, open nets are the hardest to score. But
Devin.
Right now, Gojo does not have an open net, but he does have a double. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the angle to guide it downward. Loyboy over to met by Toe Death. Now look, Nelly back in the middle, but Utopia able to sniff out the danger, and Loyboy sends it safely back into the corner for Rydog, who doesn't have any boost, but he does have the patience to wait out Nelly on the backboard. And now Loyboy trying to set something up for TA.
Oh no, I thought Nelly was ready for that. He didn't expect that bounce. That should have been 2-1 to Timber's Army, as we are now going to enter the final 30 seconds very soon. Who knows if Timber's Army are going to get a chance as good as that. But Nelly follows it up, tries to do it all on his own. Rydog tries to get it off the backboard, but plays it straight to Gojo. And now Toad Death clears it out.
Loyboy wins the 50 with Toad Death. Now him and Nelly are both up. The third should be tracking in. There he is. Rydog centers it, but Loyboy had just retreated a little bit too far for that, but that's going to go straight to Nelly, but he misses. Loyboy, can he put it in? It's off the post. Throws floating on the goal line. Who's there? It's cleared out by Utopia. We are going to have overtime. How has that not gone in?
Oh my god, that should have been it. Nelly had the chance. All he had to do was put it in. But as you say, it's not that easy to score open nets. And then Loyboy doing all he could. Unfortunately for him, he could not get the winner as well. Fortunately for Timber's Army, though, we are in overtime. They still have time to get the win in game one.
I really hope that Timber's Army do not come to rue that miss. Loyboy gets it past one. Utopia was able to get that touch, and now Loyboy will have to retreat as Gojo goes uncontested into there for now, but just overshoots it as Utopia, the net's open.
How did they not get that? Loyboy couldn't get the strong contact. And now the ball's going the other way. Both Nelly and Loyboy went for it. Loyboy gets the save. And of course, it has to be him kickstarting the attack. Oh, just misses.
ECRC hanging on by even less than a thread at this point. They are hanging on by a single hair on a single bird feather. This is insane. How are they still alive? Surely at this point, they've been given a third, a fourth, a fifth lease on life. Low key, I kind of want to see them score just for the fun of it, just to see what would happen. Now Utopia doing his best to set that up, doing his best to arrange it, but two there to meet it for Timber's Army, and now Nelly is going to be the one to clear it. Toad Death misses. Awkward. Loyboy versus Utopia. That's a neutral 50, and who's going to get there first? None other than Rydog, but he puts it just a little bit too high for Loyboy as it goes off the post. And now Gojo with the touch over Nelly. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Toad Death, and ECRC have hung on, and they've escaped from the clutches of death in game one.
And that is why you gotta make your chances count, because you never know when Emerald City RC will step up and get that killer goal. And of course it had to be Toad Death as well. It's always Toad Death. 4 saves, 2 goals off of 2 shots. He has been the man to bring ECRC out of the jaws of defeat and into the light of victory. And it is ECRC who take the initiative right here. They win game one.
ECRC climbing the proverbial equivalent of Mount Rainier right there. They had fallen straight into a crevasse, but somehow they were able to get themselves back out on their own strength. That is a great escape right there. Because look at that stat line, by the way. 9 total saves from that team. 12 shots for TA, 9 of them saved, 2 off target, and 1 in the net. Take a look at the shot line for Emerald City as well. 10 shots, but only 4 of them were saved. A couple of them were just not really on target, not really threatening, but a couple of them went in. I mean, it is what it is. You've got to take your chances, but Emerald City, I do think, are the best defensive team in this league. So you really have to make your chances count against this team. You really have to place everything absolutely perfectly if you want any type of results against this team. What will Portland bring to the table in this game?
Game 2 kicks off. We know what both teams are capable of. All Timbers Army need to do is finish off their chances. They've had so many of them too. They just have to make them count. ECRC, I think they have their game plan set. They just got to make sure they don't concede any goals when Timbers Army do take their chances. It feels like Pep Guardiola versus Jose Mourinho right here. It does feel like Brian Schmetzer versus Greg Batty. All that matters is, will it play out the way it did? Or will we see a massive surprise?
Timbers fans in the chat, back in their team, Timbers bounce back, and frankly, I do think that we'll see a bounce back from TA. This is not a team that just lies down, especially not this man right here. Loyboy sends a shot to the other end. Wasn't made contact with. Nelly, is that just going in? No, it's off the post. Rydog fakes. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that was a fake. Loyboy has one, takes the 50. But Rydog is going to follow it up, but he's met by Utopia, and that is going to fall to Nelly, who takes a shot, but Toe Death ready for it in the middle of the net.
Oh my goodness! They've had 3 good chances already, and none of them have been on target or towards the goal. Oh, Timbers Army, this is game 1 all over again. They gotta make it count. Loyboy with an insane double, but the bounce was way too early, and the ball bounces over the net. ECRC see it off yet again. I don't think ECRC ever get fazed by the number of shots they deal with. I feel like they're comfortable throughout. So what will it take for Timbers Army as they face off against this insane ECRC defense?
I'll be honest, just better shots. Put him in an awkward position like this right here. You have Rydog going to demo, but unfortunately, he had to come back for the ball as his teammate got demoed when he was trying to put that pressure on. But that's how they got their first goal. Rydog went and demoed the goalie and opened that up. That's literally what you have to do. In order to score against the team, you have to get rid of them.
So far, they have to build. It's Cauldron! Snipes it into the far post! What a pass by Gojo Toad right there with his Masamune! Powering it past both Rydog and Nelly. Guess what, Palace? Toe Death gives ECRC the lead yet again.
It's a single moment of hesitation from Timbers Army defense that sets that up, and again, it's another hesitation, and Toe Death comes and picks his pocket right on the edge of his own 18-yard box.
I'm not gonna lie, that is so unlike Loyboy right there. Typically, he is ready for those moments, but this time around, Toe Death catches him by surprise, and he gets his second yet again. Has Toe Death scored every single goal for ECRC? I think he has, hasn't he?
I think so. He scored the last 3, I know that much. He scored in overtime, but I don't know who scored the first one.
In game 2, that was Toad. Oh, game 1.
No, yeah, in game 1.
I believe that was Toad. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I think he does have every goal then.
God, I think that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think right now TA just look a little bit deflated. They look like they're out of ideas, but there we go. Rydog getting a little something started right there. But unfortunately, Utopia is just there. ECRC is there to meet every single touch, every single idea. It's like they're in their head. They know what they're thinking. Nelly with the touch, but again, Utopia. He thought that he was going to be able to get it under the defender, but Utopia just gets the touch off his wheel. That's the level that ECRC are on right now.
Ooh, and speaking of levels, I thought Timbers Army going to elevate it right there with the passing play, but Loyboy just couldn't get the contact, and now they need to set themselves back up again. The net, thought it was open. Rydog was just hiding at the near post. He brings it out, but gets beaten by Gojo. You know what? We haven't talked much about Gojo and Utopia, but Gojo has been really good with his 50s and dribbles out. And Utopia as well, contributing big time defensively.
Absolutely. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Utopia has been very, very good getting pressure on these people. You know, just forcing those little moments of hesitation that have ultimately made the difference. I mean, we saw him involved in the first goal and even a little bit in the second goal and after the second goal as well. He's just everywhere on the field right now. Gojo as well. He's doing well to keep the ball away from Timbers Army, keep possession, and really start a lot of these plays. that even if they don't go in the net, they're still generating pressure, and frankly, they're wasting time right there. I mean, look at that from Gojo. The perfect flick over the double jump just to float the ball over. And unfortunately, Toad Death couldn't make the most of it. It was a great save from the Timbers Army defender. But it's just stuff like that that makes the difference in a game like this where time is running out for Timbers Army. And it looks like ECRC are going to go to match point already.
I mean, this game too felt close, but then ECRC took control. They dominated, even if the scoreline doesn't show it. I mean, this has been a complete performance from Emerald City RC so far. They didn't even need to overextend themselves. They're not going for flashy individual plays. They're keeping it simple, and simple is effective. And I think that is the theme for tonight, isn't it, Palace?
It is. It was the theme in the game between Austin and Dallas. It was the theme in between SKC and the other Dallas team. And now it's the theme for, which by the way, we've had all three of the games tonight have all been rivalry matches. Have y'all noticed that? Because obviously Austin versus Dallas is a Copa Texas match. We have SKC and Dallas who have had bad blood with each other for quite a long time, especially when it comes to playoff series. And then we have the Derby of I-5. I don't know if that's what it's called. I've heard it called that before. Yeah, Cascade. I mean, yeah, but like, I didn't want to call it that because Vancouver exists, but like, yeah, it's Seattle, Portland. You know, I don't really need to say more. I don't know. Timbers Army looked fresh out of ideas. They looked deflated and defeated after that second goal came in. I really hope they use that last minute or so as a mental reset so they can get themselves back into this game. Because I'll be real, I want 5.
Don't we all want 5? We got 5 in the first matchup. Hopefully this one could deliver. Here we go. In order for us to even get a chance of getting close to 5, Timbers Army need to take the initiative. They need to get the first goal, just as they did in game 1. But for now, they are creating the chances. They just need to finish it. Lloyd Boy over 2. But Toad Death, it had to be him. He's always there when you need him most. And he is there yet again to stop another goal-scoring opportunity for Timbers Army.
I know the Sounders fans in the bar in Olympia right now are happy, or I'll be on whatever city Smashley lives in. But
Olympia, yeah.
I know they're happy right now. Let's see if they stay happy, because right now Utopia did well to cut Nelly out of that, but Lloyd Boy doing well to force 2 to go right there. Now Nelly with an open net. Can he take advantage of it? Not quite. It's off the post. Rydog back into the middle. Gojo whiffs, but Utopia is able to take control of it, but only gets it as far as Lloyd Boy, who has it on his car, and he's dangerous when he does, but nothing comes out of it.
Interesting livery right there by Rydog, by the way, going with his G2 Esports Fennec. Lloyd Boy with the and there you go. Timbers Army. Guess how they got that goal, Palace? Demo by the first man. Nelly opened that goal. 1-0 to Timbers Army.
Anytime y'all want any kind of life advice or Rocket League advice, come on by to Sage Palace's house, bro. I'm here. Blian can attest, another Seattle person can attest. I give great advice. And right now, my advice is to not get scored on, but Timbers Army completely ignored me.
And guess who, Palace? Toad Death. He has been the one constant in Timbers Army's backside. The thorn that cannot be picked off. Toad Death yet again getting the equalizer. Might we see a game 1 repeat right here?
Woo!
Oh
Rydog tried to force that one through. Now Nelly forced to retreat. Rydog able to get the touch and just able to get it out of the hands of Gojo. But that was scary. Lloyd Boy, does he have it? Yes, he does. Timbers Army are back in front. Again, look what started that. Was a demo in, I'll be honest, I saw an explosion in midfield. I don't think anybody was actually there. So I don't know what actually started that. But ECRC were all out of sorts right there. That's the point.
And you know what? We were waiting for that big solo Lloyd Boy goal. May not have been his fanciest goal, but he showed off his mechs right there. When he gets that off, He then starts to really get going. We saw that against KC Cauldron. Might we see it here against Emerald City RC? So far, they have to make sure they don't concede a second. And they've done enough right now. But here we go. Toe Death yet again. Timber's Army have no answer for him. And it's 2-2 now, courtesy of the one Toe Death.
He lives in people's nightmares. He pops up out of absolutely nowhere. You don't even think he's in your half of the field. All of a sudden, he's on your screen, in your face, and in your net. That's Toe Death in a nutshell for you.
Bob, when we talk about MVP for the season, we brought up Toe Death in the past, but we never really put him at the forefront. This season, he has to be at the forefront. He has been probably the best player that we've seen in the Premier this season. And I would not be surprised if he does win the MVP, but there's still a lot of time to go, not just in the season, but in this game 3 as well. And it is 2-2. We are now in the second half. Nelly trying to go for the textbook Timbers Army goal. Rydog has to keep it going. Gets it off the corner towards the middle. Gojo with a good effort right there to keep it out. Not over yet. Lloydboy with a shot, but off the crossbar.
I just don't expect him to miss those. I mean, that's a tough shot, to be fair. The upwards bounce, even when you are that close to the goal, that is a tough shot. But if you're Lloydboy, that's got to go in. I know he's not happy because his standard is much higher than that. But right now, Rydog being harassed on the goal line, but Nelly comes to the rescue. Utopia puts the ball back in the middle, and Lloydboy, it's a race to the goal between him and Toe Death. Lloydboy wins the 50 and wins the race to the net. Lloydboy single-handedly right now. Well, not really single-handedly. I'm sorry. That's disrespectful to Nelly because Nelly's putting in a performance as well. But Lloydboy putting Timbers Army on his back.
And you know what? He got that solo goal. Now he's starting to pop off. Now it's become Toe Death versus Lloydboy in this game 3. We shall see if Toe Death has a response. It's been punch after counter punch after counter punch. Attack, attack, attack. Both teams going for goal right here. Gojo with a solo effort. Nelly getting a save right there. But Lloydboy has finally woken up. He is now going. Timbers Army have the answers now that they haven't had in game 2. Might we see game 4? If they get a 4th, we might, but there's still a lot of time to go.
I would like to point out the fact that Toe Death in chat, after he scored that goal, he said hit the weight room. So Toe Death playing a little bit of the mental game as well. But speaking of the mental game, I would like to shout out the person in chat. I forget who it was. Somebody. Oh, it was Patio Soul who said Toad Boy. Why did I say Toad Boy? I'm sorry. Toe Death looking like prime Roger Levesque out there. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna make a Roger Levesque reference unless we get a kickoff goal to start a game from, oh my God, what's their team called? ECRC. But right now we might not even need another game. Although Lloydboy did very well with his momentum carrying himself towards his own net. He did very well to get that off the backboard and preserve the lead with 15 seconds left.
And the ball is in the blue half. Lloydboy bounces off the backboard. This is perfect for Timbers Army. All they gotta do is waste time. They don't need to worry about creating good chances. Nice demo right there on Utopia as well. But Gojo gets up. Gojo lets it go. Ball still up. Two toward the back. Gojo across the middle. No Utopia in sight. And Timbers Army finally get one on the board. We are going to game 4.
Because Utopia missed that ball, we are headed to Utopia. I mean, man, Rydog with the clutch save at the very end of that. That was him. Otherwise, that's 3-3, and we're in overtime with ECRC with the potential to end this series. But now we're headed to Utopia. At this point, Timbers Army are on the board. Lloydboy is locked and loaded. Nelly getting involved as well, and Rydog, that rock in the back, even though the only save he had was that final save, but it was a crucial one. Rydog was there. He's in positions, completing that triangle for Timbers Army. Now that we're on Utopia and TA's got a little bit of momentum, anything can happen here.
And I want to highlight something said by Christian in the chat. He says, it's up to Loyboy to do it himself. Not sure I necessarily agree with that, because it's not like he could sustain this. He needs his team to step up, just as Toad has had his team step up to allow him to play his game. I don't know. Palace, I don't know if you see what Christian's trying to say right here. I get that Loyboy needs to step up, but his team also need to be there with him. As we kick off Game 4 in Utopia Coliseum, here we go. Will Emerald City RC seal the deal, or might we go to Champions Field?
I mean, 700 score first win. That's what we said about Serrano in the first game between Casey Cauldron and Matador. But Serrano couldn't do it alone. He needs his teammates there to do it with him, and it's the same, especially when you've got people like Nelly putting up the kind of defensive performances that he is. I do get the sentiment, because Loyboy does need to pop off in order for this team to win. However, he can't do it all alone. Rydog's got to be here with him, and he does well to wait out Utopia on the sidewall. Now Loyboy in the middle. What does he have? Does he have a reset? I don't think he quite got it, but he did have an option with Nelly in the middle, but chose not to use it right there.
Okay, that was an insane free jump by Nelly. I thought Loyboy was going to play him there, but then he decided to go solo, and I'm like, oh, Nelly, I feel for you. Because he was expending a lot of boost just to keep himself up there, ready for whatever Loyboy had cooking. But Timber's Army, you know what? They shake that off, and they're back on the attack. It's one-on-one. Rydog tries to fake Toad. Toad reads him, gets the ball to the side. Loyboy try to get it over the ECRC players, but Gojo finally sees it off.
And that was dangerous, because I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, that was dangerous, but now looking to start a little bit of danger is Gojo. Nelly recognizes that there's no immediate threat, goes down. Loyboy called him off of it, and now the ball is going to float to Rydog. Rydog has a touch. What does he have? Not really much. I think he wanted that little touch off of the corner of the nose to get that past, I'll be honest, whoever the last defender was, I can't quite remember. Unfortunately, didn't get it, but now Nelly in the middle. Utopia able to meet it, though, and now the ball floats to you-know-who. It's that man yet again. What can he start? Floats the ball into the middle, off the backward. That was dangerous, but unfortunately both his teammates were in recovery and couldn't quite get there. But, you know, signs of life from both teams, but right now, no signs of a breakthrough.
I'd argue Timber's Army has looked better. They've had the better chances so far. They've just not been able to really finish him off. And that pass from Loyboy was incredible too. I was just saddened to see both Nelly and Rydog go as far back as they did to get all the boost that they needed. But ECRC are sitting back. They're trying to make sure they don't concede that first goal. What a shot by Loyboy towards the near post. And Gojo steps up defensively and sees this off.
Toe Death in the middle. Couldn't quite turn on the ball. Otherwise, he had a shot, but now Loyboy gonna hit it, and it's gonna go in. Wrong foots the goalie, gets it far post, 72 miles an hour. Did that come off his wheels? What was that?
Oh.
No, that's just a straight banger. Now, you know who we need right now, Maz?
Alan, Pandering Woo, bring out your bangersonly.com radar gun, because that was an absolute piss missile. 72 miles per hour, 116 kilometers per hour. Incredible power off of that octane from Loyboy. And Timber's Army take the lead. And could they be seeing off ECRC right here? Do they have the momentum swinging to this side? Or might we have another surprise in store from Emerald City RC?
Now Nelly gets it over to Loyboy. Loyboy almost over one, but Gojo read that very well in order to cut him out. Now Rydog couldn't quite recover on time. I think he wanted to get on the wall, but wasn't quite close enough. Now Toe Death in a little bit of an awkward spot, no boost, but is able to get a good 50. Although Loyboy just says, forget that there's a defender right there. Brings it past one, brings it past two, and brings it into the net for a second for Timber's Army.
As the pendulum swung to the other side, have Timber's Army got the momentum behind them now. They're now 2-0 up. That wasn't the cleanest of shot from Loyboy, but Gojo couldn't settle himself in on the goal line. Toe Death couldn't get there on time as well. ECRC are now down by 2. Utopia with a chance over that whole goal. Toad misses as well. Are we seeing Timber's Army take over?
We might be. I had something that I was going to say. I completely lost it, but what's not completely lost yet is this match right here. Oh, yeah. This is what I was going to say. It should be noted that this is Loyboy's second series of the day. He hasn't played in SGL yet, but he's played in another league in which he dropped 1,000 points in a game on one of the best teams in that league, a team that's closer to his level. And so it's safe to say that Loyboy's already feeling it. And I mean, you've seen it with the third goal right there. That's his hat trick. And just, yeah, Loyboy has taken a little bit to get into the rhythm of this series, but man, he's in it now.
At Palace, we saw Toad Death take over, bringing in all the goals. It is now Loyboy's turn to do that for Timber's Army. And what's amazing to see as well, ECRC have yet to get a goal in this game 4 as well as we enter the final 30 seconds. Might Timber's Army get a fourth? They might, because they are on top. ECRC looks shaken. They look a little nervy. Timber's Army, however, are in their zone. They're grooving out right there. They're vibing. They're enjoying themselves. And chat, we are gonna go to Champions Field.
It really does seem like Timber's Army at the end of that game too, when I said I really hope they used that last minute or so when they were down 2-0, just looking like they were fresh out of ideas. I hope they used it as a mental reset, and they did. At that point, they were hanging on by the wrist strap of their ice pick, fallen deep into a crevasse on Mount Hood. But man, they've climbed themselves out of it, and they are looking for a summit push right here. Nothing is better in the eyes of these two teams than to destroy one another. A derby with incredible significance and potentially the most self-important, self-absorbed, and arrogant region in all of America. This is for the bragging rights. Who will be more insufferable, ECRC or Timber's Army? Who will take home the bragging rights today, Seattle or Portland? Smashly, I got a question. If you're listening, because I know you got this on at the bar, if any of you inside that bar are in chat, is Olympia closer to Seattle or is it closer to Portland? Not that it matters because it's in the state of Washington, so I know y'all like the Sounders, but I'm actually just curious. This has no relevance to anything that we're seeing on the field or anything in the game. I just wanted to know. I'm getting reports that it's closer to Seattle. It's not my fault, Moo. I don't live in your state. I live in Texas. We don't have education down here. So I've only been to Seattle.
Anyways, here we go. Game 5, winner take all, yet again. We already had an absolute cinema of a Game 5 between KC Cauldron and Matador. But we see one right here between Timber's Army and ECRC. It's all about who can take the initiative. So far, Gojo going for it, pops it up into the middle. You know Toe Death is going to be there, but he bails out for Utopia. Let's see if Timber's Army have a response.
The response is Loyboy. That's the response. All you got to do is call his name, and he's there. He pops up like an apparition in the mirror. Say his name 3 times, and his ball will be in your net. Pause.
Loyboy takes the initiative. Loyboy steps up after a tough first couple of games. And he has single-handedly brought Timber's Army back to the lead. Just like that.
The G2 Fennec with the G2 goal explosion has just put TA 2-0 up. It's beautiful. The moment of twos. I wanted that low key. I'll be honest. If never mind. I was gonna say if Seattle scored on that, that would have gone in at 4:12, which would have been 48 seconds. At which point I would have made a Roger Levesque reference. However, they didn't score. But you know who might be about to score again? Not Loyboy, because he got bumped the heck off the ball. But Rydog's following. Nelly. And for Toad Death. By the way, ECRC are completely boost starved right now. I think that's the other thing we just have not been mentioning. TA, for the last 2 games or so, has been stealing all of their boost. But, hey, they're able to steal a goal back right here. Toad Death pops up out of nowhere just when you think he's dead. He's just there. Again, how does he can't keep getting away with this. He continually drives off the sidewall, gets a shot where he shouldn't even be able to physically hit that ball, and somehow drives it into the net every time. It makes me sick to my stomach. Bam.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you filled in right there that whole time. ECRC, by the way, boost starving TA in that goal for Toad. And they have hit back with a strong hook from the left. We'll see if they keep this up. They're now pinning back Timber's Army, throwing jabs and punches, making Timber's Army cower in their corner as they absorb the pressure. Loyboy finally clears it out. And could they get a goal right here? The ball's up in the middle. Loyboy sits back. Oh my goodness.
That's it.
Why not spin? No. Gojo. Equalizer.
2:55 on the clock, and that's all you need. One errant flip from Loyboy, completely wrong, puts the entire Timbers Army defense ready for whatever he was gonna do. But all Gojo has to do is just guide that in, and he does. Man, y'all know what I'm gonna say. I think y'all all know what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm gonna advocate for. You know what I want. I want overtime. But right now, we got a long, long way to go.
Oh no! Overtime! You asked for overtime! Nelly says hell no! What a pass by Loyboy, centers it to perfection! And Nelly gets the lead after ECRC come back from 2-0 down! This Game 5 has been absolute cinema!
Low-key, I'm kind of mad at Nelly for scoring that because I wanted it to stay 2-2 at the very least until we hit 2:22 because I love calling out the 2-2-2-2-2-2-2. But unfortunately, he has scored and Timbers Army has gone back up. But, yeah, Nelly, right place, right time, and another demo coming out! And Loyboy deletes Gojo and potentially deletes any chance ECRC might have at a comeback, deletes all that momentum.
We saw this from Timbers Army against KC Cauldron, and we are seeing it yet again from Timbers Army. After their Game 5 painful defeat against Frontera in Week 1, they are now on the verge of victory over ECRC. But there's still a lot of time. About 2 more minutes. ECRC have come back from this before. Can they do it again?
We'll see. We're about to find out. Gojo thought he had the 50 red, but Rydog knows that he doesn't even really have to get like an actual touch to attack. All he needs to do is just get the ball into space, and one of his teammates is going to come pick it up. Now, Loyboy, he wants the control, doesn't quite get it, but he doesn't need it. He gets it in the end, is able to just make Gojo panic and eventually hit that. Well, I say hit that. He tried to save that into his own net.
Is it over, Palace? Do you think it's over? Because Loyboy has stepped up, and I believe that's his hat trick, right?
That is his hat trick.
There you go. He got the hat trick against Cauldron. That sealed the deal. He now has a hat trick against ECRC in yet another Game 5 for his team. Are they going to see this off, or will ECRC come back? No! Because it's Loyboy to Nelly again! From being tied at 2-2, they scored 4 without a response. Timbers Army lead Game 5, 6-2.
Timbers Army running their mouths in chat now. Gut the fish is what they say. And frankly, I think this one might be over. But I'll be real, that pass didn't just get Nelly into the perfect spot. That pass also got Christian the Plumber pregnant. Because Christian the Plumber is a big fan of Loyboy right now. And I mean, it's not difficult to see why. Just man, I thought this game was going in a completely different direction. When that scoreline hit 2-2, I thought this was going in a completely different direction as Gojo tries to salvage something, give potentially ECRC a chance, but there is just nothing right now. Timber's Army defense is operating like a well-oiled machine, and they look like they're going to see this one out. 20 seconds left, but there's really nothing ECRC can do.
God, I cannot believe what a day of Rocket League we've had right here. An SGL Thursday that we will remember for a long time as the clock ticks down. Chat, Timber's Army seal the deal, and they come off this Cascadia Derby matchup with a huge victory. Absolute
Reverse
cinema.
sweep. Reverse sweep as well. How many reverse sweeps has that been in SGL this season? There's been multiple, have there not?
I think a good few, yes. A lot of them involving Sounders RC, unfortunately.
Yeah, multiple, involving Seattle teams. But, I mean, man, what a series. A heartbreak for ECRC as, when they were up 2-0, they were thinking that life was pretty, but you can never rest on your laurels. You cannot. What's a Seattle metaphor that I can make? You cannot get a pile of Rainier cherries and just lay down on them when you got Loy Boy coming in. When he's on the field, you can't guarantee anything.
God, can anyone imagine a scoreline like this for Game 5, by the way? Freaking 7-2 in Game 5, after all we've seen throughout this match.
I would like to point out, whoever in the chat said Brazil when the game was tied 2-2, respectfully, you are dumb. That's not how Brazil works. It's 7-1. At that point, it is no longer mathematically possible. But I respect it. I do respect your wishes, and I do respect everything that you've gone for, your hopes and dreams. However, mathematically, you are incorrect. I do have to call you out for that. But man, every series tonight has been insane.
Oh man, I'm still trying to gather myself. I didn't think I would see this crazy of a matchup after what we saw before this, but
I know.
Oh
that's
God.
Literally the only matchup that could have possibly followed the series that we saw before this. Which, by the way, Serrano, you might want to mute the stream for the next 10 seconds. I'm going to talk about what happened. In the previous game, we had SKC versus El Matador. That ended with a 0-second goal in Game 5 for El Matador to take the victory over the Cauldron. And we transitioned straight from that into this absolutely bonkers series. Reverse sweep from Timber's Army. Real quick, before we get into interviews, I just want to shout out Smashly. I know that he's put this game on in the bar where he's at right now. So huge shouts to you. Thank you for doing this. Are you proud of me? I managed to keep it clean for tonight. But jokes aside, huge shouts to y'all, everybody in Olympia for watching, for tuning in. I'm sorry that it wasn't the result that you guys probably would have hoped for, but thank you guys again for listening and for coming out. It really means a lot. So yeah, huge shout outs to Olympia, Washington. Great song by the band Rancid. And speaking of things that are not Rancid, I think we're going to have a couple interviews coming up.
Absolutely. We are going to first interview the winner of this most recent matchup. Come on in, Rydog. Dude, what an insane comeback. Y'all reverse swept Emerald City RC. That is not an easy feat. How is your team feeling after this?
We feel so good right now. Yeah, it was my girlfriend's in my apartment, and she said that the first 2 games we were very, very quiet. And so the game 3 onwards, we were, just the vibes were so much better. Just yelling and screaming and just having a good time. Yeah, so the vibes are really good right now.
Yeah, I want to talk about that moment in game 2. Man, after you guys went down 2-0 with 1 minute left in that second game, y'all looked dead and buried. Y'all looked out of ideas, out of inspiration, out of rhythm, out of sync. What happened in that minute to change you guys' fortunes and the rest of the series?
He was just shooting, like finishing. Like we had plenty of offense. It was just credit to, their defense was really good, and also credit to the post. The post defense is always undefeated, it seems like.
Yep.
And so we just couldn't find a way to get it into the goal, and so once we just kind of played more loose and kind of realized they kind of bunched up in the net a little bit at times, and so we were just kind of thinking, like, can we draw them out, because some of those goals were open net goals, right? I mean, that we scored in game 3 onwards, right? And so it's like, okay, we're drawing them out, right? Or can we get some demos and stuff? I think I had 2 key demos that, Loy Boy was just put the ball on target, and I demoing the third guy, and it's in. So they're obviously an insane team. I mean, I'm not surprised with how they play. I mean, just the defense is insane. We know that. And I mean, Toad, when you think of Toad Death, you think of offense immediately too, and he was insane throughout the entire series too. But yeah, maybe just playing a little looser and kind of noticing what they were doing on defense, and then we were just hitting our shots. Once we hit our shots, I mean, as you saw in that game 5, right? That's the TA that we know and love, is that game 5 TA, and we just had to. I guess it just took 4 games to warm up.
Hey, but y'all got there eventually. It's like I said in the EM versus Cauldron game. It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there.
Yeah, 100%.
Man, I mean, that series was a whirlwind more powerful than anything you'd find in the Columbia River Gorge. That was just insane all the way through. I want to take it back to, I think it was game 4. That moment, you're in net all alone, two Sounders attackers on you, haven't made a save all game, and yeah, what's going through your mind right there?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously are known for their demos too, right? And so it's just like, the first guy's gonna go for a demo, and so it's how can I outplay the first guy, but also still be in a position to save the ball. And it's tough at times, because obviously for some of them, they are coming right at you, and you can see it, and you can see the second guy has the ball behind, and you see the first guy boosting towards you, and you're kind of like, oh crap, here we go. And there are other times when they're just coming from weird angles or just rotating out and demo you. I know I guess all 3 of them did it. We're just running around getting demos all over the place, and so it just adds that level of like uncertainty of, hey, I have to always be moving, I have to always be checked in mentally to the game, because if not, if I'm stagnant for 1 second, I'm getting demoed. If I'm not going supersonic, I'm getting demoed. And so I mean, that play specifically obviously was insane, but it's just like it's all throughout the entire series that you have to think like that constantly.
I have another question, if that's okay, Maz.
Go for it. You're running the interview.
What was the moment you knew you were winning the series? And I'm not talking about game 5, which, to be fair, if that's the moment, then fair enough. But what was the moment that it was in your head? Okay, we're winning this.
It was game 3. I mean, it was when we started scoring. It was when we started scoring goals. Like I told the guys after the series, I said, this series just proved that we are one of, if not the best team in the league, and when we lose to ourselves. That's just what it is. When we cannot score and other teams score, obviously that's how they're going to win. But obviously the thing that we can change, the easiest is our ability to score. And so when we started putting goals into the net, good things happen. And it's a stupid statement, right? Because obviously you can't win without scoring. But I said it after game 2 of like, hey, we are not scoring, and that is the reason why they are winning this series right now. And so once we fixed that, like it was wraps. That's the moment I knew.
Absolutely. Talk to me about your teammates, Loy Boy and Nelly. Talk to me about them. I don't even really have a question. Just good God.
Yeah, they're insane. Obviously, we all perk up a little bit when it's a game against Seattle, and so I think the vibes were high at the beginning for sure, and definitely cooled off in those first 2 games. But yeah, I mean, Loy Boy just had to warm up a little bit. I think he was struggling to get into the series a little bit. Nelly just had a rough day today, so he was trying to stress release and ended up like I said, taking him 4 games to figure it out too. But I love those guys, man. They're insane, and I'm especially impressed with how positive they've been over the course of the series, over the course of the season. Just every time I make a mistake or somebody makes a mistake, it's always, hey, head up, we're good, next play, let's go, we're okay, right? Even goal goes in, hey, it's okay, we're got kickoff, we're going next. It's those little things, man, and so it's weird because I always felt like I was that person, whether it was a team, this team in the past, or just real life soccer teams or whatever. I was always that guy to be like, hey, it's okay, let's keep going, let's build up. And it's so nice to hear from somebody else, or them too for sure, and so it keeps my spirits going. And I often feel, and y'all might not agree with this, but I feel like I'm the worst on the team by a considerable margin. And but to hear those guys being positive just gives me a little bit more in the tank, a little bit more confidence in myself that I can perform. And so yeah, I mean, I love those guys, and I mean, we did it. we reverse swept them.
You got that PMA, that Portland mental attitude. I love to hear it. Just kind of go back. I don't really think there is a worst on your team. I think that you guys are all just good. Like that's like saying, what's the worst steak at Nobu? You know what I mean? How am I supposed to pick that? They're all great. Like, what am I supposed to say? But I think that's really all I got for now. Maz, you got any more questions?
No, not really. I think you covered all bases. Rydog. Actually, no, I do have one question for you, Rydog.
Perfect.
After this breathtaking matchup, you now have the Cup tournament to look forward to. We will be showcasing the bracket once we get to the league table, because that's when we'll be able to see the final seedings for the matches. But how much are you looking forward to this Cup tournament, and are you going to go for it all?
Of course, we're going to go for it all. I think we're just... it's going to be exciting. I mean, last year, obviously, was super, super fun. It was something different, right? New to SGL. And just to be a part of that, obviously, was insane. And, of course, winning it was also fun, too, last season. But, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun again. Obviously, this game meant more for the seeding in that case as well. Propels us up to... I think we're tied with KC at second. So I don't know what the tiebreakers are and all that stuff, but I mean, we're right there, right? And so yeah, I'm excited for next week. Obviously the Gamers 8 style is going to be just a little bit different, and so I guess that means that we got to start practicing some of those extra modes again, just to kind of remember how to play them and all that sort of stuff.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in here. You know what I'm gonna ask. It's the same last question I always got. Yeah. Floor is yours. Say whatever you want, as long as it's not discriminatory.
Thanks to you guys for streaming, and Pals obviously commentating. I'm just reading the SGL Discord, right? Like 4 out of the 7 series are going to Game 5. That's insane. Absolute cinema week this week. We got lots of content to talk about on the podcast. Devin, we're gonna have a fire podcast next week. But yeah, shout out you guys for sure. Obviously, shout out my teammates, man. They're insane. They kept us in the series, like going down 0-2, just always believing that we could win and turning it around in that game 3. And obviously, GG's to ECRC. They're obviously insane. I mean, there's not enough words to describe how insane they are. Like they were probably 95% perfect today, and we had to be at our absolute best to beat them in 5. So they're insane, and they're definitely not a team to sleep on going forward. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.
Likewise, thank you so much, and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Sounders RL 1 hour interview over here. I don't want to hear a gosh darn thing from you, Smashly, because you dragged those interviews out as well. All right, so I'm not having that from you. I love you, Smashly, but I'm not having that. we're about to get Toe Death in here as well. but yeah, no, seriously, Sounders RL, huge shout out to y'all for again putting the game on in the bar. We really appreciate y'all again for listening, for helping to grow the league, helping to grow the game and stuff like that. It means a lot. Stuff like this really does mean a lot, especially, you know, for a game like Sounders versus Timbers. So, yeah, shout out to y'all. And speaking of, we got Mr. Man himself. We got Toe Death.
Whoa.
How you feeling right now? Be honest.
I'm feeling great. How are you feeling, Palace?
I'm feeling really good. We got to watch 2 incredible series. My voice box, my vocal folds, my vocal cords, whatever you want to call them, are not feeling very good. But my brain and my heart and my soul are feeling very good just because of the 2 series that I've gotten to watch right now. So
yeah, you're welcome.
So thank you for asking. Toe Death, let me just say something. You're a menace. You are a monster on the field. I said this in the middle of the game. You appear out of absolutely nowhere half the time, and you're just shooting balls into the net from angles that you wouldn't even think that you could get a shot from. You come out of nowhere, and you're in your face and in the net, just like that.
Holy glaze.
You're a beast.
Wow. All right.
So it's just, I want to ask, just man, that's a tough series, but you know, tell me your thoughts on, I guess, what you make of it and what positives that you guys can take from this.
Yeah, positives. We had a very solid defense in the first 2 games. And coincidentally, we won the first 2 games. I don't know if you remember those.
I do.
Been a while, but
were very good games.
Yeah, so it seems like there's a stronger correlation between defending the goal and winning the games. So just putting those together, I think if we can defend the goal and stop getting scored on, we'll have a pretty good opportunity to win the match. So that's the big positives there.
Sure, but you guys did have some momentum, especially in that game 5. You know, when y'all tied that up. I guess what was going through you guys' heads at that point when you get that first goal back in game 5 again from a shot where you just pop up out of nowhere and you shoot it into the net just out of nowhere. You know, what was you guys' heads and what was the game plan, the approach from there?
Yeah, that was a fun one. I snuck in there and just popped it in, and then Utopia asked who shot it because he didn't think I could have an angle from there. And then the replay came and he was like, oh damn, how did you do that? So that was a fun little morale boost. It was short-lived, but it was fun. And then you know, there was a couple more goals. I can't remember who scored them, but you know, somebody in the game scored them, and then we ended up not exactly winning. So I guess the mindset after that goal was to get more goals. It was just the execution that was the lacking element.
Yeah, because I think you guys actually had a pretty solid game plan. Especially again, y'all executed well in those first two games. With the defense, as you said, was immaculate in those, and you were doing the typical ECRC thing where you're boost starving, you are demoing, you're forcing people into uncomfortable positions, and it even started well in game 3 as well. But I guess what kind of changed in the middle of it? Something kind of changed in the strategy, and y'all sort of went away from it a little bit. So I guess what sort of fueled that change?
Yeah, we got a little loose in defense, making a couple errors that were uncharacteristic, and then that snowballed. But I think credit to Timber's army, they fixed whatever was their issue in the earlier games in getting their goal scoring production going, and that was just involving Loy Boy in the attacking field, like kind of just sending him into the messy role where defense is just a concept. It's not actually a physical manifestation, and that worked for them because Nelly and Ride. I mean, Rydog, he loves to defend, so he's gonna lock it down back there, and then just launching it up toward Loy Boy whenever they can, and just letting him cook. So that was a big change that we were trying to correct going forward. But yeah, we were trying to get the ball off Loy Boy when possible. But yeah, you got Rydog back there to pump it back in, and Nelly's pretty solid as well. I think he's worked his way up to Champ 3. He's like really completed his game lately. So credit to them. Yeah. He's also completed his like shit talking game. Credit there too.
True. I saw you guys, both teams running y'all's mouths in the chat, which frankly, in a derby match like this is what I love to see. But enough about this game. I want to look forward because first off, I want to say you guys need to keep your heads up because y'all are still a very good team. Yes, this is a tough loss, but you guys are still a very good team. Talk to me about your teammates. What does it look like going forward? What's the mindset with all of you guys?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how we want to approach this season. If it's just for fun, just for some giggles, some teehees, or if this is supposed to be a super serious thing and kind of what they want to do. And so they said that we should take it pretty serious. It's more fun to win. So we'll try to approach it from a competitive standpoint and be professional and all that. But, at the end of the day, it's for fun. So we're going to try to have fun. But, I'm telling you guys, it is more fun to win. Shocker.
Absolutely.
But it is just more fun to win the dang game. So we'll try to have more fun by winning.
Definitely. That was, I really like how you touched on that. Because that was my approach for a long time in this league, and still is my approach, is having fun. But man, it's tough to have fun on a night like this. It really is. But again, you guys really keep your head up because you are a very good team with a very high ceiling. And on that note, I want to ask, where's your ceiling? How far do you guys think you're going to take this?
Oh, yeah. We have solid teammates up and down. We just haven't really gotten on lately. So that was a little evident where there's just some miscommunications and double commits and stuff coming out in dicey situations. We played the game long enough that if it's, a regular game of Rocket League, then we'll know where to position. But once it gets down to the nitty gritty and communication is key, then we just got to get on the field more and figure it out together, which we will. So once we do that, I think the ceiling is, I don't know, first place. I think we win the rest of our games.
Heck yeah. That's what I like to hear, except for Let's Include obviously, right?
I mean, yeah, we'll give them a game,
right.
Sure.
Yeah. You mean a match, right? Nah, jokes aside. That's what I like to hear. I like that confidence. And I really do think that you guys do have one of the highest ceilings in this league. I think you're in that class
The
of
highest.
teams. Yeah, I think you guys are in that class of teams where you are a legit contender to win this league. So I look forward to seeing more of that from you. And best of luck, obviously, the rest of the season. Now's the time in the interview. You've been here with me for long enough. You know what I'm about to say. Now it's time for shout outs. Take the floor. Anything you want to say, anybody you want to shout out. If you don't shout out the bar that Smashley's at in Olympia, I will fly up there and slap you. So just note that. But anybody you want to shout out, anything you want to say, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, shout out the whole team tonight. We actually had everybody in the voice chat, which was awesome. We usually have pretty tough schedules, but it just so happened that we could all hang out for that one. So that was fun. Shout out the guys. I'm sure they're not listening anymore. They're gonna go hit the bar hard. But as will I, honestly. So shout out the bar. 3 magnets. Let's go.
3 magnets. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out the commentary crew. I didn't hear any of it, but I'm
That's
sure
good. You didn't miss much.
I'll hear it on the rewatch if I can stomach it. But you know, shout out Timber's Army. It'll be really, honestly, it'll be a lot more fun to win next time. So there you go. There's a positive spin.
Hey, that's
Watch
what I
out
like
right
to
now.
hear.
Watch your back. Sleep.
Hey, Bomboclat. Thank you so much, Toad. We really appreciate you coming in. It's not easy to come in and do an interview after any loss. So huge ups to you for coming in here, and for facing the music. We really appreciate you, and yeah, we hope you have a great rest of the night.
Yeah. Put me high up on the power rankings. All right. Appreciate y'all.
I'm not in charge of the power rankings, but if I were, I'd put you at I put you high. I'm not gonna say where because I don't really feel like going through it in my head right now, but I would put you high.
1. Not hard to say. 1.
We'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna fly down here now and slap me. So I think we're even. But yeah, thank you so much again, Toad. Huge shouts to you, and I can't wait to hear your beautiful voice back in the booth sooner rather than later.
For sure. Will do. All right. Thanks for the glaze. We'll catch you later.
Got you. Much love. So, I mean, man, what a night. What a night.
I'm glad you took over because I had to deal with a couple of things. First of all, trying to set up the cup bracket, but also trying to see if we can get a third interview in. Yes, we're not done yet, but I don't know if...
Yeah, you got this one. I'll be real. I gotta go to the bathroom.
The problem is...
So you got this one.
The problem is the person we need to interview is busy.
Oh, hell no. Hold up a minute. No. Let me do this.
Okay,
let me do this. Hold up a minute.
Fine. Wait. Let me... Give me 1 sec. All right, go.
I didn't spoil it. Chat.
Go.
I didn't spoil it. Are you ready? We got the graphic up?
Yeah.
Hold up a minute. Hey, it's him. It's him. The Grim Reaper himself. The Bumbleclat. I don't know what I was gonna think of a word for warrior that starts with B. I couldn't think of it. But yeah, Luis, how you doing?
Yeah, what's good? We're chilling, man.
He paused his Battlefield game to be here. I would like to. Somebody get him a shirt. Somebody get him that shirt from Target. Luis, insane series earlier. That was one of the more unhinged series that I've ever seen in SGL. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. My team's always fun, just fucking around and having a good time. Yeah, you know, I just want to shout out my 40-year-old third man. You know,
absolutely.
He played really well for his age. You know, he's showing that age is just a number. and
Hey, yo, pause.
you know, he's doing a good job, and you know, he showed up today. So yeah, shout out Skyline, shout out Cam. They play really well. And shout out to the wall for being there, so I could score in 0 seconds. It didn't hit the ground.
Yeah,
So,
how the heck did you end up in that spot? What were you doing there?
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It was funny, like when the ball was on 0 seconds, I said to my team, I was like, I can maybe score this, and then the ball like landed on my head, and then I just like, you know, ran with it. So I don't know, but it was pretty crazy. I think we were down like 2-0 with like a minute left, and then we won. So, yeah, I don't know. It was crazy. I already watched back the stream. I know y'all were going crazy. So,
You know that moment in like an anime when the characters are all in the middle of a fight, and then one of them turns around, like they spot something out the corner of their eye, they turn around and somebody's got a gun pointed at them, and like it's just, you know, it's over for them. They turn around and immediately before they realize it, they're just on the floor, no longer living. That was what that moment felt like, as somebody who was looking at the perspective of a KC player at that point. I forget whose perspective I had on at that point. When I spotted you, I was like, "Oh no!" It was over before I could even think of what to say. That's one of those moments where your life flashes before your eyes, and you were just a stone cold killer in that moment. So huge shouts to you. I just want to say, F you, because I said in the chat before that I was going to ignore you for as long as I could and not say your name, not mention you. And then within like a minute of the first game, you're already on the scoreboard. So I was like, all right, what's going on here? So I hate you because I was going to do a social experiment and you ruined the social experiment. So thank you for that. Jokes aside, yeah, talk to me about your teammates.
no, my teammates are sick. Like, they're like such good vibes. Like Cam and Sky are like good friends and stuff. So, yeah, vibes are fun. Like, you know, I think this is both of their like kind of like, or at least Cam's first experience playing the league. So, yeah, I mean, he's balling. We had some good goals today. There was one goal where like I took off back. I was like driving around the field backwards, and then like I hit it off the backboard, double tap to him. That was super nice. He almost had it a couple insane double taps. Like he's grinding.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shout out Cam, and yeah, shout out Skyline. You know, my favorite 40-year-old. He's putting in work. He's doing it. You know what I mean? So, no, it was fun. It was good. Obviously, if KC plays their best lineup, we probably get perfect swept, but we you know, we had fun. So,
Yeah. You guys are getting better and better by the week. What's your secret?
yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, it's fun just to like kind of like see Skyline and Cam like do what they do, because they have really good chem and stuff. So I'm just letting them cook, and I'm just running around the field doing dumb shit. And yeah, there's no secret. We just drive around and have a good time.
The secret, chat, I'll let y'all in on, is that they play together. That's the secret. No, but yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I had from that series.
Whilst you think about your next question, I'm going to chime in. Luis,
Perfect.
you know, you guys probably went in with no expectations. Was there a moment where you guys thinking, oh shoot, we might actually win this? Or were you guys just vibing throughout?
I mean, we're always vibing. Like, we don't really calm, so we just like. It was funny. This is like the extent of our comms. We'll say like, let's do good things and not bad things. That's like unironically like the only comm that we do. I'm not even kidding. Like, we're just having a good time. But I think I said like in game 2 or game 1, I was like, oh, this isn't their best team, so we can actually have a chance here. So it's good. So it's actually gonna be a fun series because if they play with all their good players, like they have a lot. There's more, they have better ranks than us. So, yeah, I mean, it made for a fun series. You know what I mean? So, thank you to KC for picking a even-ish lineup. So it was fun for stream.
Y'all are so lucky I can't access the soundboard because I would have hit a bruh in there.
But yeah, we're the content team, man. We're just Game 5 merchants. So
I mean,
there's no expectations for us. We're just trying to have a good time.
content teams. Both you and Casey are content teams. You're both Game 5 merchants. Unfortunately, I think KC does have a penchant to lose Game 5s more often than they win them. But still, they are Game 5 merchants. I will say that. But I mean, yeah, I don't really know this whole night has been such a blur that I'm getting my series mixed up now.
So whilst you think about that, I have another question for you, Luis. You talk about this being a content league. We're seeing it yet again from the premiere. Do you keep getting surprised by all these amazing things that happen in SGL Premiere?
I mean, SGL's always been cinema, right? Like, I think the league this year is probably the best it's ever been in terms of the quality. So, I think there's so many teams that can actually win the league this season. So, I think it's made for really good content, and yeah, I mean, it's been great. Been great to watch. That TA series was crazy. But yeah, I'm not surprised. This league's a shit show, in the best possible sense. And that's why we love SGL, because anybody can win. And yeah, at the end of the day, we're just soccer fans having a good time. And but yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Debit said, let's all play in person at LAN. Hell no. I'm kidding. I'll play. But yeah, Maz, do you have anything else?
Yeah, one very last question.
Perfect.
Now you have the cup tournament coming up, Luis. We're gonna see what the matchups are once we go to the league table. You've always been talking about having fun in this cup tournament. How are you gonna approach your extra game mode selection? Are you just gonna focus on extra game modes only, or are you also gonna try and incorporate, like, say, a 2v2 in there?
Wait, but there's no 1v1s, right?
No more 1v1s.
No more ones.
I'll be honest, I haven't thought about anything in terms of we're just gonna have fun. Like, at the end of the day, our team's all about fun. I'm just sitting back, letting my draft picks go to work because they're all on 1-year contracts. So at the end of the day, this cup run, if they want to show me a little something, maybe we get a Skyline, Gnostics 2v2. They have to show me that, they're worth the picks that I picked them with. We let players like Huey go all the way to the end, and so if they don't want to get replaced by Huey next season, I mean, they need to show me something. So maybe I'll throw them out there. It's a little test run in the cup to see if they deserve to be on the team next season.
Bumbleclap. I think you know what time in the interview it is. Yeah. Unless Maz does anything else, the floor is yours. Say whatever you want. Kuv said, "Notice how I'm locked up. We do not care."
Floor is yours, Luis.
Yeah, thank y'all for streaming. Cinema series, both series. Actually, all 3 series were really good today. Thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for the Kuv for sleeping through our game, or sleeping, or just forgetting that we have a game. So appreciate you not being here. We would have really could have really used you. You played against Toronto for a long time. So, but yeah, shout out the commentary, and also shout out Lloyd Boy for helping me in a different league. If you know, you know. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Thank you guys.
Hell yeah! Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Luis. Thank you.
Yes, and
Happy-
congrats on the win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, yeah, great way to round off the night. Yeah. Do we have the updated table by chance?
Yeah,
Or-
I was
or
going to
just
say
like
let's
the
check the
results and
results,
stuff?
but let's go straight to the table. I think that's the most important part. That's what everyone's looking forward to right now. So here we go. The final standings in the Premier.
Wait, has every team played this week?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, it's Thursday, I guess. That makes sense. Okay. We have clawed our way. Man, that actually annoys me that EM is back above us in the standings. That annoys me. But that's okay. We'll get back.
I don't think you realize the impact of the matchups right here. Once I get done with the bracket, you'll see what I mean. But
Because that
in
means
this
we have
insane week-
ECRC, does it not?
Sorry?
It's ECRC or Timbers Army is who we have.
I'll save that for later. I will save the matchups for later. Trust me, it won't be too long. I just need to finish it up real quick. But let's just go over this table real quick, pals. I mean, what a week it has been in the Premier. FSD Chrome keep it going, by the way. Still at the top, yet to lose a match. But following along with them, Timbers Army, the only team with 3 wins. We have 4 teams with a 2-2 record, by the way. Absolutely insane.
That's insane.
God, what a league this is right now. What a season this is. It's oh my god. So awesome.
And literally those spots are decided by 2, like they're only separated by 2 games each. Because I believe Cinco Doce and Matador have both lost both of their series 3-1, whereas KC and Emerald City have both lost their series 3-2. That's the only reason they are above us on the table. It's every single game has such a huge impact. That's why even taking 1 is massive here.
Yup. Absolutely. So don't be disheartened if you don't win the match. 1 game always counts. Even crazier is the fact that El Matador and Los Cinco Doce have the exact same record. So
And we have them on head-to-head as well. And we're
you
still
guys
behind
should be
them.
above El Matador. So it's not showing it properly here, but technically Los Cinco Doce is in 5th place, El Matador in 6th.
Hey, suck your mum, wanker, pussy, dickhead. Sorry.
Anyways. Yes, El Matador in 6th, Los Cinco Doce in 5th. Due to head-to-head, unfortunately, the way this overlay is set up, and by the way, big shout-outs to KJ. He's done an awesome job in setting all this up. K Doughboy of Frontera SD Azul, incredible work in setting all this up. Just keep in mind, though, the table sorts the teams in alphabetical order if they have the exact same record. However, we do have a decider, which is head-to-head, and right now, Los Cinco Doce are ahead because of the match win over El Matador. So, Los Cinco Doce are in 5th, El Matador are in 6th because of that.
Tosser, dickhead, wanker. You already know. We out here, fam.
That's Chill After Dark, chat. Enjoy.
Scutnum, Ratnum, 2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3 quick maths. Everyday man on the block, smoke trees.
Okay, speaking of quick mats, how about that championship table? That absolute cinema of a matchup between Steel Army and the Rebellion means that Steel Army are only above the Rebellion by 2 points, but the Rebellion have a game in hand. Following up are Frontera Azul and EC Defiance, both on 8 points. Great job by the Defiance. They're still in contention. EC Eternal get their first win. They're on 5 points with Axe and Rose. Incredible to think that Axe and Rose are on 5 points right now, given where they were last season. Unfortunately, Los Verdes have taken their place at the bottom, yet to get a point, but they were very, very close against EC Eternal.
LV, they're coming. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get one day. I love LV. Obviously, that's our bros right there. In Austin. They're gonna get theirs. I know they will. So huge shouts to them. Let's go, boys. I believe in y'all.
And on that note, I think it is the perfect time for us to review the results and see how we got here. Look at this week 4. We started off with a Game 5 banger, absolute cinema between the Rebellion and Steel Army in the championship, followed by Los Verdes coming so close against East Eternal and being very unfortunate to get swept, Palace. I don't know if you're watching that first match, but you followed along with the second match, right? How did the boys feel after that matchup against EC Eternal?
Which one?
Los Verdes versus
Oh,
EC Eternal.
Verdes? Oh, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Okay, no, that's fine. Well, with that said...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It happens. It's all good. Anyways, moving on. You know, we had the third match of the Premier come after Sounders versus Frontera Chrome, and I didn't think that would go to 5 games. Sounders, I thought we were going to see them win, but then they got reverse swept yet again. Oh. Frontera Chrome, though, keep it going. And then we had SGL After Dark, 1 a.m. Eastern Time. EC Defiance versus Axon Rose. Axon Rose getting a surprising win in one of the games, but then EC Defiance saw them off comfortably at the end. And then tonight, Palace, we had an insane show. You guys kicked it off against EM Dallasburg, giving us a sweet appetizer. And then 2 Game 5s back-to-back. Absolute cinema. Good God, what a week of SGL. This has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was... I don't want to say the word because it's been said so much in chat, but tonight was insane. Tonight was it was almost movie-like, if you could put it that way. There's a certain word that I'm thinking of that I'm not going to say that I want somebody in chat to say. Actually, no. Don't even say the word. Put the emote in chat because you know what word I'm thinking of. There you go. Dang, he's got it. Now, tonight was insane. Tonight was weenus. I agree. Yes, it was.
I cannot wait to see what we have in store next week for the start of the Cup. And you know what? It is the perfect time for us to go there because the bracket is ready. Chat, we have our final matchups established. Let's go dive right into it. Here we are. Frontera Chrome versus Sounders SC. First versus 8th.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah,
Really?
That's why I kept it back. KC Cauldron versus La Cinco Doce. 4th versus 5th. 3rd versus 6th. Timbers Army versus EM Dallasburg. And second versus 7th. Timbers Army versus EM Dallasburg. And 3rd versus 6th.
Oh, yes. Yes, let's go. Winnable. Yes, I thought we were playing Timbers Army.
No, you guys are playing Cauldron.
Yes, I'll take it.
Here we go. The duality of bad, chat. The duality of bad.
Yes. Serrano, I'm coming for you.
Too bad he's not able to hear you.
I know. I'll be honest, could y'all even hear me?
We could hear you. We didn't miss a single note from you.
Good. The way it should be. Okay, sorry, what were you saying before?
Here are the matchups, as I said. 1st versus 8th, Chrome versus Sounders, 4th versus 5th, Calder versus La Cinco Doce, 2nd versus 7th, TA versus EM Dallasburg, and then 3rd versus 6th, ECRC versus El Matador. We're going to get a rematch of Week 4 at the top of that bracket, and then every other matchup is absolutely fresh. I cannot wait to see how this turns out. This is going to be absolutely exciting.
It really is. I mean, yeah, it's completely different from the league, as you guys know. It's a completely different format. More than just 3. What's the word I'm looking for? More than just 3v3s allowed. Anything goes except for 1v1, and I forget what's the other one that's not allowed. But yeah, no, this is gonna be very fun.
So there you have it. We have our bracket decided. This will be posted in the Discord as well, along with the official matchups for next week. But I think now is the time for us to end it. We have been going for almost 4.5 hours. Wow, this is probably the longest stream we've had in a while. Palace, you've been along from the second match onwards. You've been on from the start, though, playing your matchup first and then commentating with me. How are you feeling after what has been a wild freaking ride throughout?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I had a crazy day at work today. In a good way, I should say. And so, yeah, coming home from that, I got home like almost 2 hours later than I normally would. So, having that kind of day and then coming home to, see this absolute, insanity and be a part of it, I think overall has been a good day. And I'm very, very happy to be a part of, what went on tonight. So thank you guys for not wasting my time and for having some pretty good. What word am I even looking for? Thank you guys for playing good Rocket League. I'm sorry for Maz because he had to commentate on whatever the heck we were doing in the first game. So sorry about that. But
Why? Don't apologize. No, I'm gonna interrupt you right there. Do not apologize for that. I had fun watching that. And I'm not glazing for nothing. I mean it. That was fun. It was good picking Rocket League.
So I appreciate it. Thank you for putting this on. And yeah, thank you to everybody in chat. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say.
Hey, let's wrap it up.
It's been a good day.
David, thank you very much for sticking around throughout. Thank you for bringing in some banger commentary as well as some insane sound bites. And chat, thank you all for sticking around. We're almost at 4 hours, 30 minutes. We gotta go. It's almost 1 a.m. here in the East Coast. Chat, David, thank you all so much for hanging out. We will see you next week for the beginning of both the Premier and Championship Cups. Take care. Have a good night, y'all. Enjoy your weekend, and peace.
Peace. Serrano, I'm coming for your pickle.